again what is going on in here. But there's been this flurry of activity regarding video and other things, audio, formats. Is that you that's playing back here?
It was. It's not anymore.
And then Conrad's on top of it all, as he always is. So welcome. This is a preview of the In Wheel Time car show for Saturday, January the 9th, 2021, post-riot.
Hey, I've already had my 7-day trial period of 2021. I want to give it back.
Yeah. Do you want to go back to 2020?
He wants his money back.
I want to go to 2022.
Yeah. We all need to skip all of this, actually.
What a train wreck.
It has been an absolute train wreck. Well, the train wreck continues, actually. Just wanted you to know that. And this is my month to get my second COVID shot, and I'm a little bit leery of that because I really didn't feel anything different until about almost 7 days after I
took the shot.
Yeah, took the shot.
What was the feeling?
And the feeling was kind of like I didn't really feel all that great, but I couldn't put my finger on it.
You had your sense of smell and all that.
I had all that.
Okay.
But I just didn't feel right. It's like I just kind of felt uncomfortable. I haven't been sleeping. Blah 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 blah.
But
and
that's
it didn't dawn on me that I had taken my COVID shot. That was on New Year's Eve.
Tell you what, tonight at dinner we'll do some shots and you'll get over it.
Like we always do, just have more of them
And you
this
won't
time.
feel anything at all.
Exactly.
And then you'll have to carry me out of there like you always do.
Again.
John Hovis joined us.
John Hovis. He and I exchanged some texts this past week, and I told him. He says that he's well, but he's missing everybody.
And we're all missing him as well.
Yeah, because John, has the fabulous Hemi hideout out there in Brookshire. I almost said Brenham, but I didn't.
Brookshire.
And by the way, we have a studio guest today.
Yay.
Kathy Caputo and her son, and we really appreciate them stopping by and taking a gander at the show and how it all comes together. And I forewarned her of this pre-show thing that we do here to stabilize the internet because, once we get on the internet, it gets real wobbly. It's got like drunk legs on it.
Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down.
Something like that.
Tonight we'll be doing shots.
We're so heavy that we weigh it down.
Jeff, you're kind of fixated on that, aren't you?
Yeah.
I'm ready.
I'm going with y'all.
I've got band practice at
Why
1.
wait till tonight?
They're putting the band back together.
Yeah, they called a band rehearsal today. We don't have any gigs coming up because they've been postponed, obviously. So going to do some new music. We're learning some new music today. This afternoon. Yeah.
Going to do a little Mozart?
No. We're going to do some Cream, some old Clapton, things of that nature.
So I got our first guest. I can see him. He apparently can't see my chat, but I can hear him banging around his glass and stuff. So we've got some audio.
So if he can hear us, wave at us.
Very good.
He can hear us.
Thank you.
Very good. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
There he is.
Yeah, I can hear him.
All
Okay,
right, all right.
that's good.
All
Yeah.
right, all right.
We're just kind of, this is a kind of the warm-up act.
Yeah, we got to make sure everything's in sync and everything's good to
Bullpen.
go.
Because if there's a way for anything to go wrong, it's going to happen on this program. And sometimes it's funny, and most of the time it's not. But we somehow, some way, thanks to Conrad, make it funny.
Oh, I'll take the credit, not the blame.
Correct.
But
Yeah.
occasionally I have to take the blame.
There are some times, like would you quit fiddling with the microphone because we can all hear it? That's all.
Or we need him to reset the clock.
Did you get the schedule? This
Oh,
is
I didn't
my
even
week
look
for
at the
blame.
clock.
It's my week for blame.
We should be probably on the air already, but I didn't even look at the clock. We have a clock in here that I can actually look at besides the computer.
Jeffrey,
Because Don is the
our lens cap is
Broadcasting
still on.
Hall of Fame member, and he has to have that broadcasting digital clock so he can watch the time. So he keeps us on cue because otherwise...
You're telling all my
I
secrets.
think it's called ADD.
Really? Is that what you call it?
Attention deficit Don.
Well, that would be me.
Shiny things. Squirrel. Squirrel.
That's right.
But those that watch the show already know that with us.
Yes. Do we know if George is on with us?
I got him.
You got George?
No, I haven't seen Skelton check in yet, but he probably will. Mute Don's mic so we know for sure everything is working. Thanks, Joe.
There's George. George joined.
Oh, that's good.
Yep, George just... Hey,
Well,
George.
I just found out that our clock is 10 seconds slow.
Oh, my
Oh,
gosh.
boy.
I don't know what I'm going to do.
So
Let's start over.
take a deep breath and
No. Let's once we get on the air, let's go ahead and reset it like Conrad did one Saturday. Just before the top of the hour, Conrad says, "Oh, it's wrong. Here, let's reset it." No, don't touch it because I don't know where I am.
Don had already got his head set about how far off it was, and then when I reset it, we
It
messed up
adjusted.
the rest of the day. So George just checked in to let George know who our guest is.
Kathy Caputo. You may not know that name, George, but you know the person. And we'll let you guess. But let me put it this way. She also went to Red Elementary and Johnston Middle School and Westbury High School. So with that in mind, we'll let you guess who it is.
It's like a reunion.
It is kind of a reunion. We were supposed to have our reunion this past year, but needless to say, that and everything else was canceled or postponed,
Well,
as they
it's
say.
been a while since we've had any in-studio guests, so this is nice.
It is. It's different.
Something different.
Yeah. It kind of keeps us on task, or
I
at
was
least more on
thinking the same thing.
because it does fall off the rails quite
see
frequently.
what
in
George
here.
said.
Yes. I'll leave it alone. Were you and George a thing at some point? Okay.
George seems to think you
Everybody
were.
on Facebook now thinks so too, because George says, "Oh, my old girlfriend." George, she's just your former girlfriend. You don't want to use old.
That's right. Like I told Don, we're not old.
Cat. He said cat.
Yeah, okay.
Years that
Sensuous senior citizen. So just what Don needs is another title.
He's going to get an award for that one.
I'm kind of liking it, actually.
SSC.
Yes.
SSC.
This is Her Majesty's SSC. The ships at sea.
All the shit.
There you go. Give the wave, big boy.
Or as it was at one time, this kind of
Yeah.
circle thing.
Yep.
I don't know what that was all about.
Okay.
Have you happened to watch any of the Crown?
Don't get me started.
Yeah. So I managed to somehow have some influence on some people about their television watching habits.
Usually when I know you're on, I turn it off.
Good. But the first one was the Queen's Gambit.
No, I haven't seen that one.
That's the good one.
Now
this
you
is,
tell me.
This is really good. Well, you can go back to that. So we're watching The Crown now. Now I've finished all 4 seasons that are currently on, but we're looking forward to.
You're looking forward to the next season.
I am, which they haven't even started yet. But we're going to start our show because I was pointed out. So stand by, and we'll be with you momentarily here. We'll be right back. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the In Real Time radio, or should I say, internet program. We're so glad that you could join us on this Saturday. From Studio A in Texas, USA, it's the award-winning All Things Automotive Car Talk Show in real time. Just ahead, a review of our new car of the week, the 2021 Chevrolet Traverse. This Week in Auto History is one of the features we'll have for you. The Cruise-In calendar, along with the stories making automotive news headlines and a few guests. That and more just ahead on today's In Real Time Car Show for Saturday, January 9th, 2021. Boy, we sure wish we could get through all of this stuff that's been going on. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world, Mars, King Conrad DeLong. I'm Don Armstrong, and right off camera over there is Mr. Jeffrey Zekin. So glad that you could join us today. And it is a crisp, clear Saturday morning.
I woke up, I had frost on the windshield again.
Did
Yeah.
you?
Well, apparently there's we're under a winter storm watch.
Which
for-
is pretty major in Houston.
It is.
Yeah, we
Everybody freaks out.
yeah. Well,
We have winter 2 days at a time, and this is a 2-day series coming in here, apparently.
Apparently so. Well, we'll wait. Tomorrow looks like a great day for me, sitting on the couch, watching some football, and just kind of tuning out, if you will. Jeff is going to have me shots tonight,
Yes.
and so I'm looking forward to shots.
Well,
Haven't had shots in a while.
And if tomorrow is a winter storm, that'll mess up Lucky's Rod Run.
Yes, it will. That's right.
Oh, my. Yeah.
You know, that's always such a big event up there. In
I went
Bryan.
last year.
Yep. That's where you had met Jackie Hansen. We'd had him
Yes,
on a
that's
couple
correct.
of weeks ago.
There's a year-long planning into that.
Oh, very much
and
so.
To be postponed or subject to postpone due to weather. That's incredible.
All I can tell you is last year at this time, it was a crisp, almost, well, close to freezing morning. And the further we got toward Bryan College Station, the colder it got. And but once the sun came up, it was beautiful. And the number of cars, just incredible.
And the variety of cars. So many.
Everything from the 1800s to present.
Yeah, all the hot rods and
Everything in
custom
between.
cars and
You've got a
classic
segment on
cars.
that, right? You've got a segment coming up on that, don't you?
Yeah, well, yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about it.
Yeah. And what do you have to offer?
If we're not supposed to get any snow and ice, how's that?
That's good.
Over there in Beaumont?
Yeah, it's not supposed to come over that far.
Neaterville.
Yeah, we're a little closer to the coast, so it actually
A little closer.
well, a lot closer.
Yeah.
You're like on the coast.
Yeah, so a lot of that stuff really doesn't come down quite that far. You'll get it over here, but
It's warmer. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's get on with our first guest, shall we? And by the way, we'd like to welcome George Skelton and also John Hovis out at the Hemi Hideout. Thank you guys so much for being with us this morning. We really appreciate it. So our first guest is Mr. Jeff Light, and he is with the Demon Car Club. And Mr.
Demons. There's multiple of them.
Oh,
You know,
Demons.
when I saw that on the schedule, I was like, that's an interesting name. We'll have to delve into why the name was
You
chosen.
thought of me, didn't you?
Yeah.
yeah, we did. Hey, Jeff. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Hey, good. Hey, that Lucky's Rod Run, this year you have to pre-register and you have to wear a mask. So,
And you have to give them your email address
yeah.
for contact tracing, and that's a requirement. If you're going to
Yeah.
go, they're going to require you to give them contact information before you're allowed in the parking lot, just if there is any contact tracing necessary because of COVID. So a little bit different rules this year, but
Are you going?
We plan on going. Like you said, with the weather, that's going to be the next question, whether or not we make the drive out there for it.
You know, it's a little bit more difficult when you don't have windshield wipers on the car.
Yeah, that Rain-X does pretty good, in the visor, but it's definitely not ideal.
Yeah, no doubt. So, first of all, let me ask you, what kind of car do you have?
I have a 1931 Ford Model A, kind of high boy setup. It's got a Chevy 350 in it, which I know a lot of Ford people don't like that, but it works great. And the club built it, which was the Demons. The Demons started in 1957 back in Maplewood, Illinois. They've got they had about 10 members back then. Some of this, there's I think 3 surviving members, and I actually got to take one of them for a ride in my car. So that was fun.
one of the original members?
One of the original members. Yes.
Oh, how cool is that?
Yeah, he lives in Dobbin, Texas, and so he comes out to our events every once in a while. So,
Where are you
was fun.
located? Where is the club located?
Houston, but because we've got members all over the place. You know, I'm in Cypress. We built my car in Kingwood at Billy Dawson's place. He's got a Dawson's Garage, and so the whole club just kind of got together and went out there and did it. Billy was a big part of building my car because we built it from scratch, just from a body, and then just went the whole way. I mean, body work, chassis, everything.
How long did it take and how many guys?
I think I've got like a list of people that how they helped me and everything. It's about 12 guys, but it was all based on who knew what, So like I had one guy that was, good at welding, which was Billy. We had one guy that was good at, had chopped a car. So we had like a party where we all came out and chopped the top 3.5 inches and re-welded it and cut it, all that stuff. So we had a little event for that.
Jeff, was there beer involved in any of
I
that?
was thinking the same thing.
There's definitely beer involved. Barbecue is another big thing too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's fun when you make it a club event.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
Well, that's cool when everybody brings their expertise in
Exactly.
whatever skill set they have, and not only helps you build your car, but it kind of teaches everybody a little bit
Yeah,
of
that's what I was thinking.
what their level of
You
expertise
learn
is
some
as well.
stuff.
Definitely, yeah. Because I've always had old cars, but I've always just kind of bought them and then just tinkered with them. Never built one from the ground up. luckily, Danny Verder and Billy Dawson, they built ones, Model A's from the ground up. So they were there to help me do it. And so I definitely learned a whole lot from them. So.
Well, how old is the car? I mean, since you rebuilt it.
It's a 1931.
I got that. Thank you.
It's 90 years old this year. But,
No, thank you. No,
Thank you very much.
I think
There's
that I
the
can
rim
do the
shot.
math with that. But we're talking about the current version of the 31.
Okay, it's about 4 years old. We got about 6,000 miles on it. It drives great. I've never had any problems with it, except for like just minor like tweaks in here and there. But yeah, I mean, I drive it to Dallas, to Lafayette, Louisiana for Body Roundup, and Austin, and everywhere. She's a beast.
So, the car's been built in the past 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
So, this isn't an LS motor, just a carbureted 350.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
320.
Old school.
Yeah. So why did you decide to do that instead of with the LS engine?
I wanted to kind of keep it more nostalgic. So,
Right.
Without having to go, to Flathead. So, I wanted it carbureted. I wanted it as simple as possible. I mean, I got very few wires, you know what I mean? It's like, anything that goes wrong with it, it's really easy to fix.
Totally appreciate that. Totally.
Yeah. And then having the Chevy 350, if I have a problem on the road, it's like pretty much any O'Reilly's has,
Yeah, that's right.
Parts for it.
Yeah.
Until you go in and the guy behind the counter goes, well, what kind of car is it? It's a 31 Ford.
Yeah.
What's the
Oh,
engine
yeah.
in it?
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah, that's all confusing. So manual shifted or automatic?
Yeah, it's got a T5s.
Okay.
And which is fun, because for those you have to, take the Camaro T5 and put a S10 tilt shaft on it to get that stick shift up further past the bench seat. So that was a
Oh, it's got a bench seat too.
yes.
Yeah. But with the bench seat in that car, you're still shoulder to shoulder with your neighbor.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, do you take it? Are you married?
I'm not. I am not.
Okay. Do you have a girlfriend?
Don.
Oh, you looking
They're in it
for?
now.
Well, I'm trying to get to the point of, so what's so funny about that?
How tall are you? What's your sign?
He's going, what did I get on?
The minds of these guys here, it just goes off the rails real easily. So I'm not trying to hit on you. I'm saying, I don't know you that well enough yet.
So in the Demons Car Club, the guys that helped you build this, not just Dawson.
Are you changing the subject?
I'm trying to move
He's trying
forward with this a little bit. Are they all still around that they see the progression of the car? Because like most people's cars, like yours, make small progressions over a little bit of time as well. That you're always
Yeah.
tinkering.
They're never really finished.
What's crazy is once we got it done, I mean, I think we put an emergency brake on it, just little things. But, once it hit the road, it hasn't really changed much.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, yeah, we did it right inside and out. So,
Does it have
Yeah,
some great big fat tires on the back end of it?
no,
No.
just regular Coker tires,
Okay, so this is really a hot rodded look from the 50s.
That's
is
cool.
What
Yes,
you've got.
sir.
Does it have wire wheels?
Nope, just Sealy's. We'll take a look.
Sealy's.
Yeah, I could,
Dog-
Yeah, we'd love to see a picture
Yeah.
of it, or if you wander us out in the garage or something, and
Let's do it.
Awesome.
be happy to do that as well.
Okay. Let's do that.
I see that there are other people there, so clearly you've had a party
Danny.
planned for this Saturday morning with us.
Danny Verider's here with me.
Oh, so
Hey,
he,
Danny.
so he dumped this off on you, and then he come over to watch you.
Let's see if I can do this bit.
Let Danny hold it.
Oh,
Yeah.
how cool is
Yeah,
that?
there you go. Let me to work. Okay, so
That's right.
It's hard for.
Oh my God, I love that.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, that is extremely I would say more period correct for the
There you go.
the
Perfect.
early '60s.
Dog dish
Yeah, so
covers.
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And then inside.
Don't know if they can see.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can see. Nice.
Right. Yeah. So. Kind of. Whatever.
Next.
So I have to ask, does it have air conditioning in it?
No. Once again, it was one of those things where I just wanted it to be as simple as possible. So I didn't want to put AC, heat. I just nothing's going to go wrong with it, kind of thing.
Got it.
And we sprayed the inside, with the heat and sound barrier.
Yeah.
It's been great. I mean, driving it out as long as I leave the windows up, it's fine. I mean, and even in the summertime, it doesn't get too hot. So just want to try to sit in traffic, of course, but otherwise, yeah. I mean, we're having really
Look at the headers.
So I was gonna say, I really like your exhaust system. That looks so cool. Now, is that something you guys built, or is that something you guys bought? The headers.
Yeah, that's something we bought. The exhaust. When I first got it, that was one of the things we added on later. Was I extended it out because, of course, it was coming out here, but it was just so loud that when you're sitting in the car, you can't talk to another person
Right.
in the car. You can't, one of those things. So, and then plus the exhaust is going right up in your face. So I finally ended up exhausting it out, but left it where I could leave it on there. So
No, that's
my
cool.
first-
Was there any consideration of making the doors a suicide opening or just traditional?
just traditional. Yeah, I was trying to keep as much traditional as possible with it. I just kind of always like that look, that vaudeville lake, look.
Lakester.
Yeah, does it have the straight front axle on it in the front? Or is it?
Yes.
So very, very.
Yeah,
very,
yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. We got the split wishbones in the front, and then
Very cool.
ladder bars in the back.
So let's go back to the engine. First of all, let's start with the transmission. So if you're doing 60, 70 miles an hour down the freeway, how many RPM is it running?
Maybe 3,000.
Nice.
I can drive 80, take my hands off the steering wheel, and it's fine. I mean,
That's
it's,
sweet. Yeah.
Smooth as can be.
Now, did you do anything to the engine? Or is it just a stock 350?
It's, we put a thumper cam in there. Other than that, I mean, we really didn't do.
325.
It's a 325 horsepower, so.
Perfect.
Well, again, that kind of
doesn't weigh anything.
Yeah, no weight.
keeps it from stressing out and creating its own problems over time as well.
Got
Yeah.
2,000 pounds.
Yeah, it's like maybe 2,000 pounds. Yeah.
Is it really? Holy cow!
So that's a lot of horsepower.
That's a lot of power in that little
Yeah.
car. So what kind of chassis is underneath it?
32.
It's a 32 chassis that was pinched for 3031. So it's just like a Pete and Jake's chassis. But it looks like it's 432, but it's just been modified to fit a 31. So it's got a Ford 9-inch rear end.
Of course.
And then the gauge for the speedometer, since we had to make the T5 work differently, I had to go with a GPS.
Speedometer.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's like the most modern part about it is that the gauge is GPS, and so.
Okay,
that's-
but it does its job. That's the
Yeah.
point of it is you just needed to, and probably looks relatively nostalgic, just with
Oh,
the
yeah.
the
It's
electronic speed.
It's a 40 Ford plus gauge cluster, so yeah.
Beautiful car.
How long did it take you guys to build that car?
I think it was one of those things that was like based off of money. It's like we build it for a while and then we had to, wait a while for some more money to come in, kind of thing. So it was like 2 years. But yeah, it would. If realistically you looked at it, because we're working on the weekends when we can, kind of stuff. So it probably didn't take very long. If you look at it,
Could have probably built in 2 months.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah.
Just a couple months. Honestly, what took the longest was the body work. Just fix, cutting them, because we had to cut all the sheet metal out of the bottom, re-weld all that in, and then just do all the,
So it's a steel body.
It's a steel body, yes, yeah, the original.
And where did you find the body?
Found actually, Howell Sheet Metal in Beaumont. He's the one that sells the pieces that to fix these cars, the patches. We went, Billy and I went there to just check it out, and he actually had one for sale, and he had a customer that had passed away, and he sold it to us for
Whatever.
cheap.
Yeah. How
Yeah,
cool
yeah.
is that? How cool is that?
Yeah,
It's awful
that
quiet.
worked out great. Yeah, that worked out
It's
great.
not running. I was just wondering maybe fire it up.
Yeah. And you got the keys handy?
I do. You want me to turn it on?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's
that's what I'm
light it
talking.
up and listen to it. We're all car fans, so
Open the garage so you
looking
don't
at
get
something like that's kind of cool. I don't know if I'd open it. Well,
Asphyxiated. We have a lot of viewers. We don't want to.
Yeah, we don't want to asphyxiate them while they're watching.
Oh my God!
Right, fired right up.
What?
What? Dang, it sounds really good. That it?
Yeah, it's got a nice lope to the cam without being excessive.
That's that thumper cam.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Nice.
Yeah, it's got a real nice lope to the cam without being too crazy, so you can tell it's got a little.
Conrad, he turned
a
it
little
off.
extra
You don't have to-
power.
You don't have to talk that loud. He turned it off.
I know.
Comfort cam.
Yeah. So, what degree of the thumper cam is it? The full? I think they have 3 versions of the thumper, and
There's like a Mother Thumper. There's a yeah. I just got the basic one. The Mother Thumper is just a little too much low.
is it? But you don't have to worry about vacuum because there's nothing vacuum operated on it.
There you go.
Yeah. All right. So, okay. Well, I want to talk now a little bit about the club and the.
Yeah, we're
Yeah. We're going to go inside. Okay, that's fine.
It's a little warm.
chilly in the garage.
A little chilly out there. Got it. So I wanted to ask you about the limitations when it comes to being a member of the Demons Car
Yeah.
Club.
What are the requirements to join the club?
Okay.
As far as the car, or as far as
Yeah, so we try to say pre 63 because a lot of the car shows that our club goes to are usually the rules to go to that show are pre 63.
Okay.
So we prefer all our members to go with us everywhere we go. So so that's a big thing is that, and then 2 is it's kind of like when we meet somebody and they're interested, it's like hang out with us for about 6 months. Just get to know us, meet each other at the car shows or events or whatever, and just hang out. And if we get along, because
And if we can do some shots and not get in trouble, we're good.
Hey.
have fun. And, yeah.
All right.
So
So how many members are in the club?
right now we're sitting around 10. We kind of go up and down each year from right around 10 to 12 every year. We have another chapter in Louisiana. They have only about 3 members. And then we had one in Las Vegas, but the president of that chapter, he had to move to California for work. So they went ahead to shut that one down. For
I
now.
didn't think anybody moved to California for work. I thought they moved away from California for work.
You would think.
Yeah.
He's probably regretting it now.
All right. So how did you get interested in a car like the 31 Ford? Did you have something prior to the 31?
No, I've always had like just 50s cars, and like I had a 53 Buick, a 55 Oldsmobile,
Nice.
just a bunch of those kind of cars. I think it was just, years ago I was in a different car club, and back in Dallas Fort Worth area, and I had a friend there. He had a 30, and it was just a lot of fun. They're like a big go-kart, so it just get to drive as fast as you want. You know what I mean? And so they're just so much fun that I was like, I just.
Do you
want a
still
big
have the
go-kart.
vehicles from the 50s?
You still got
What's
your
that?
Oldsmobile and Buick? Oh,
No, it's kind of. I had kids, and so it's like, oh, somebody needs braces. Okay, I'll sell this car.
let's sell the car so Joey
Yeah.
can get braces.
And so he also went from a 6,000-pound car to a 2,000-pound car.
Yeah, I'm sure it's
Double the
53
horsepower.
Buick.
Yeah,
It's pretty
there's
heavy.
much more skilled at handling in these days. So if somebody like me was really interested in something like what you have, I don't know as if I'd be brave enough to go at this point in my life to build one on my own, but I would be interested in maybe perhaps looking at something that somebody else had built that I could buy and kind of sit behind the seat and, do my thing without too much work. Do you know any guys that have that kind of situation?
Yeah, I mean, like Danny Verender's got a 28. It's a sedan version he's got for sale. That, I mean, it runs great. I drove it to Austin not too long ago, and it's a great little car. But yeah, it's easy to find.
And
It's also got a 55 Buick he's turning.
Yep.
He's already sold it. I saw pictures of it though, but that is a nice car.
My dad had a 55 Special.
Yeah.
Well, that's the beauty of your car, though, Jeff, is even if, let's say I was looking for a vehicle in that genre, the simplicity of your build makes it easy to buy something like that because I don't have to be a computer whiz to understand all of the electronics of an LS equipped vehicle and the electronic transmission. That's why the simplicity of your build makes such good sense, especially if I was looking to buy one used.
Right. I mean, it's so few wires. I mean, it's so easy to work on. It's like if you got anything going on, it's just, fuel, fire. You know what I mean? It's real simple stuff.
Well, great. Yeah. We really appreciate it. And if anybody wanted to become a hang-around with the Demons, how could they go about finding you guys?
We're on Facebook. That's the best way to find us. There's a Demons Car Club on Facebook. That's where you should go.
All right. Well, cool. Yeah. We'll find it and post it up on our site, and anybody who's got a pre-63 that might be interested, maybe they'll check you out. Jeff, we really appreciate you giving us the time and showing us
your car, too. Yeah.
Sweet stuff.
Yep.
Appreciate it, guys.
Thanks so much.
Thank you very much.
All right. Jeff Light with the Demons Car Club. Time now for this hour's car review. Looking at a 19, oh my God. Not quite. How about a 2021 Chevy Traverse? Here are the models. It comes in the L, the LS, the LT Cloth, the LT Leather, the RS, the Premier, and the High Country. Do you think they've got enough packages available for that? Mm-hmm. I had the High Country, the top of the line. Standard SUV seats up to 8 people. Most of the time, I think that people are going for the 7-seat configuration because it's a whole lot easier to move about inside there, unless you've got 6 kids or something. Exterior changes from last model year, none, really. Exterior features, conservatively modern design. Great selection of wheels on all of the different models that they have. And, it's funny because if you take a vehicle and just have a regular, nondescript version of the Chevy Traverse, and you put all of the different wheels on it, take a picture of it, you're going to go, oh, well, I like that one better than the other one. It's the same vehicle.
Just the wheels are different.
It's just the wheels are different. And it's all a mindset because you can get the cheapo, none of them really cheap, but the cheapo, smaller diameter wheel on it. And man, what
changes the look of it.
It changes the entire look of it, the whole stagger of it.
Okay.
If you will. What I liked about it, universally good all over. What could use improvement? Well, there's an update coming in 2022. So I'd imagine
it needs to be because this has kind of looked like this for a few years.
Yes, quite a few years.
Aren't there other platforms for this as well?
Yes, there are. We'll get to that. Interior highlights, easy access for the second and third rows, passive phone charger in the High Country anyway, quality leather, including the dash pad, well-groomed large infotainment screen that's easy to use. Cargo trunk room is good as long as the third row seat isn't up. But you put the third row seat up, and then it's get a little tight back there to bring the groceries home. But that's the nature of this vehicle. Yeah. What I liked about it, Chevy's conservative, useful design is what I put here. I thought that was kind of descriptive, don't you think?
Useful is the purpose of this. This is, as the Chevy version, it's the more utilitarian version.
3.6 liter, 310 horsepower, V6, 266 pound-feet of torque, 9-speed automatic transmission with a tow rating of up to 5,000 pounds. Not bad. You can tow the boat back there. 17 miles per gallon city is what its rating is. 25 highway for combined to 20. I got 22.3 miles per gallon over 167.6 miles. What I liked about it, plenty of power that matches well with the 9-speed automatic transmission. What could use improvement? A Turbo 4 would be something that I think I would look into, and I would imagine that the next version may have that Turbo 4 that's going around. And, of course, I would imagine that the new version, it might have already be in place for this one, is electrification, because GM is headed in that direction with everything that they own. So let's see what the 2022 model offers. Auto start stop drives me nuts, and you can't turn it off. That's...
Oh, they don't have a defeat button on it?
No, and that's a deal breaker for me, but that's just me. And I thought to myself this week, so how do I describe that? Well, I am a 2-foot driver. It doesn't make any difference whether it's an automatic or a manual transmission. I always drive with 2 feet.
Do you brake with your left foot?
Correct, most of the time.
Huh.
Yeah, but I ambidextrous. I can do both.
Oh.
So you go both ways.
They have a vaccine for that.
There you go.
Well, I almost proved that, didn't I?
You did. We're doing shots tonight.
Shots. 4-wheel drive is available on this. A refresh, as I mentioned, due in 2022.
Well, you said 4. It's all-wheel drive.
Okay.
Just the difference.
There is a difference.
There's a significant difference, but yeah. So, yeah, they do offer it in all-wheel drive.
Don't mind us.
Base trim, 53.1. It's not cheap. As tested, 54,295. The base model price is $39,995.
It's not
to
bad.
me.
Yeah.
That's a bargain.
Yeah, that's a real
for
bargain.
that size.
And
three-row.
that is a large CUV.
Well,
By
that's not what the government calls it.
Right.
They call it a standard SUV.
But it's a pretty good size. One of my daughters has one, and she got it because of the teenagers. She wanted the room for the 2 boys that play football and the daughter and friends. And she loves it. It's a couple of years old. She's got one, I think, it's 2 years old.
Yeah, but you can fit an adult in the 3rd row.
Yes.
So $39,995 is the base. Ford Explorer, which matches up kind of along these lines, $36,000. Kia Telluride starts at $39,390, and the VW Atlas is $40,000. So, with those in mind, it's a pretty good bargain, I think. All right. Well, that's that. Let's check in on the cruise-in calendar, which is a big one tomorrow, but I don't know if that's going to happen or not.
Well, I think that's going to be a little weird with all the weather. Tonight is Teriyaki and Cars at 72.
I saw that.
7206 Bissonnet, which sounds like that could be kind of a fun little cruise to go. That's at 4 p.m. to 8 p.m., 8:30 p.m. And then also the Bowl Faux car meet out in Katy. I know. Pho, not pho. I say pho. I'm sorry, pho. Car meet out in Katy again. That's 4:30 to 9.
How do you spell that?
PHO.
Oh, pho.
Pho.
No.
PHA is pho.
Is it pho? Pho?
Okay, whatever.
Fee, fi, fo, fum.
You can send your comments to info@inwheeltime.com.
No, don't bother.
And then typically, the Kima car meet, that's always Saturday nights at 6, and that's good, steady meet to go to. There's always lots of different people there, and I know that we have quite a few people that our friends of the show go to that with some regularity. Tomorrow at 8 a.m. is Lucky's Rod Run up in College Station, depending on the weather, and that may kind of ruin it for a lot of people, because if the weather is too bad and it's icy and frosty and wet outside, a lot of folks won't go.
Snowy.
I imagine as you get that far north, it very well may be snowy. Hopefully it's not snowy in Houston. If it is, everybody in town who owns a body shop is going to have a big smile on their face.
Yeah, be planning vacations.
And then, of course, every Sunday night is Freddy Steakburger up on Eldridge in 1960. And then Wednesday night is Freddy's Steakburger out in Katy. And Friday nights is Freddy Steakburger at Kirkendall in 2920.
Hey, I'd like to remind everybody that the In Wheel Time Car Show streams on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, iHeart Podcasts, TuneIn, Google Podcasts, Pandora, Amazon, and Podcast Addict. That's a lot.
You get them all out?
I think. In Wheel Time Car Show continues right after this quick break.
Do you know what teens just love? Not being told what you're supposed to love. That's not anyone's business but yours. It doesn't matter what you love, but if you love it, click it. That includes you too. Because in 2018, 42% of Texas teens who died in traffic crashes were not wearing their seatbelts. Make sure everyone is buckled up. Every rider, every ride. Brought to you by the Texas Department of Transportation.
Texas Truck Works is your go-to truck customizer. From mild to wild lift kits, custom wheels, and steering and handling enhancements to the best personal and commercial wraps, Texas Truck Works delivers. Let Texas Truck Works founder Scott Stevens help you get the most out of your truck or Jeep. Texas Truck Works has decades of customizing experience, including power adders and complete engine swaps. Let the Texas Truck Works team design an upgrade plan that fits your budget. Get truck attitude today at TexasTruckWorks.com. Tailpipes and Tacos is Houston's premier cruise-in, and you're invited to join in. Whether you're a cruiser or spectator, Tailpipes and Tacos is the place to enjoy made-to-order breakfast tacos, fresh coffee, and mingle with Houston's fun car people. Mark your calendar for Saturday, January 16th for Tailpipes and Tacos at the Lupe Tortilla Mexican Restaurant in Katy, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Tailpipes and Tacos is free, and everyone is invited. You'll see collector cars, hot rods, customs, magnificent originals, and resto mods all at one location. Cars from all over Southeast Texas cruise in and show off in a friends and family event. The Lupe Tortilla Mexican Restaurant on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10 and Katy. Drag racer, car enthusiast, and Lupe founder Stan Holt brings you Houston's hottest cruise in, Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday, January 16th, 8 to 11 a.m. at Lupe's in Katy. The In Wheel Time Car Show will be there too. Get your ride ready and we'll see you at the Tailpipes and Tacos Saturday morning cruise in, January 16th, 8 to 11 a.m. at Lupe's in Katy, weather permitting. This is the award-winning car talk show In Wheel Time, your weekly go-to all things automotive place. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world, Mars, King Conrad DeLong, Jeff Zeekins right off camera over there. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad you could join us this morning. So we're going to kind of switch gears here. We're going to talk to Daryl Burris, and he is head of the HCC, Houston Community College Automotive Program. Daryl, good morning to you.
Hey, good morning, everyone. How you doing? Happy New Year.
Well, wow. Well, we're doing well. Thank you very much. And apparently you are too.
Yes, thank you very much. I'm honored to be here.
Well, we're really glad that you are here. And we wanted to talk to you today, a little bit about everything with the HCC Automotive Program. And I didn't really, I guess I did, but for lack of a better term, let's talk about it. And how long has the program been around? And how big is the program?
The program's been around roughly about 40-some years. It originally started at the Northland campus that used to be a Chrysler dealership. And I'm not a Houstonian, so I don't have the whole history of that. But the Northland campus at Airline in 45 was the inception of the automotive program. We do offer a certificate program as well as a degree program. Just depends on which direction or how in depth the student wants to get into this industry.
And Daryl, so what's the difference between the two?
A certificate program means that a student can register and attend classes that they desire. And once they complete those classes, they would get a certificate of that particular class. A degree student can go all the way through the program, including what we call the co-op, which is more of a retail type learning about the service industry, service writing, customer, a lot of the business management part of the industry. And they'll get a degree where they can actually not only be a technician, but they can take that degree and work towards being maybe a general manager, service manager, something of that nature if they choose.
Yeah, and Houston Community College, they do a real nice job. Most of my association has been with the airline location with David Vogel and stuff, and the Mike Cleveland and that whole crew you have there. And you guys have been, that's been very active for a long time, and you've actually put some pretty skilled people out in the field. I know you've got some shop foremans and service managers out in the dealership world that actually came through your program, but you're also starting to grow your Northeast campus as well. Tell us a little bit about that, because you guys just built that about 2 years ago.
Yeah, I originally opened the North Forest campus in August of last year. As a matter of fact, the very first class in that facility just graduated in May. So a lot of the students that came through my first class, I'm still in contact with. Several of them are at our local dealerships here in Houston.
Right.
I do have one in Brownsville. I have a couple students in San Antonio in the dealership. So we're trying to put out a well-trained product in this fast-growing industry. North Forest, I want to call the state of the art. We have most of the newer equipment that students are going to see in the field in our facility. A lot of the students that come in, number one, they signed up for this. So their commitment and their passion is definitely in learning the trade of today. I'm an old technician, so I've been in this business over 40 years.
Hey, I resemble that remark.
I'm not that old yet, so don't start. But if you know that the way technology is moving, the old adage of, you know, quit one job, put the wheels on the toolbox, roll it down the street, grab another one. Dealerships especially are having an awesome hard time trying to get qualified technicians to work on these complicated vehicles.
So true.
One of the big things that I want to introduce, if I may have a chance, we've also expanded our program to where we have 4 manufacturers on board. And I want to congratulate Ford just stepped up with their new ACE program for HCC.
Congratulations.
Which allows the students to actually train under the manufacturer's guidelines to prepare them to go directly into a dealership with certifications. You have to have certifications to do warranty work in a dealership. So this kind of jumpstarts that potential student to where the dealer can almost put him directly on the floor and get him rocking and rolling, to where it used to be they have to spend 6-8 months just doing the theory work and just doing the certification work.
Right. Yeah, because
now we have it done here.
And my experience with your school out there is your objective is to create a technician that is revenue generating for the dealership right off the bat. You know, you're not.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's not about getting a student to go through the class and then they're pushing a broom for 6 weeks at the dealership. Your level of education is teaching that student enough to go to work at a dealership to really get started right on the cars. They still need some more training, which, believe me, I've been in the industry for 50 years now, and you're always getting training. There's always something to learn.
Absolutely.
But
you have to keep up with it.
And if you don't, you get behind real fast.
Oh, I'm a professor instructor, and my daily task is to always research what's going on with the manufacturers today. Just kind of a thought here, Ford has recently stated, and GM as well, that by 2025, they want 30% of their fleet to be electrical. So, you know, with the fossil fuel kind of going away a little bit, that's going to change the whole direction of training for the students to learn how to work on these hybrid vehicles. That's a whole new inception to this industry.
Yeah, and a big part of that training on the electrification of vehicles is safety, because
That's correct.
one of those would jump out and bite you, and you're just going to lay there on the ground and twitch for 20 minutes. You know?
If you can remember where you're at.
Right. So,
without a doubt.
Another thing I know about Houston Community College, you have a relationship where you offer scholarship programs for a collection of the Houston high schools to come into Houston Community College. And I think that's great because it's offering career opportunities to those high school programs, kind of continuous, where they learn so much in the high school program and it transfers over into the community college program.
That was my question also. Well, you got an aspiring student in high school that has different avenues in front of them when they graduate. How do you convince them or have them go into your program?
Well, we have what we call the dual credit program, which is what he just indicated. The dual credit program allows the students, instead of walking in after they graduate high school, to actually come to the college and start their training early. So when they graduate, if that's something they want to pursue, then a lot of the groundwork has already been taken care of, and they can move much more swiftly through the program because they've got some of that basic training and theory out of the way. Students in high school, as we were, are just kind of up in the air. I don't know what I really want to do. And especially today, I've learned to incorporate what the interests of our young people are, which is video games. Our vehicles are falling into that particular realm because a scan tool, if you kind of play with it a little bit, it's like a video game. You have all this information scrolling right in front of you of what the actual operation of the vehicle is. Preaching that to the student gains their interest of today's young minds in order to get them to understand, just taking that part off and putting that part on don't necessarily fix the car.
Right.
So a lot of them are coming in now with the understanding that I want to be able to get on that scan tool and learn what all those parameters are and how to work with them, what's related to who. And that's part of my teaching.
And to kind of identify when something's a little bit out of whack, why it's out of whack, and how it truly affects so many other things in the vehicle.
Oh, absolutely. One of my speeches when we first come into class, if you know how it works, you can fix it. Right. If you don't know how it works, you're just going to throw parts at it. And a lot of times I explain that.
Yeah, and Daryl, throwing parts at it in today's world is very, very expensive, very, very quickly. Because, when you're talking about throwing modules and stuff at a car, trying to fix it, it's thousands of dollars at a time. And it takes a skilled diagnostician to work on today's cars. The shade tree mechanic can still do some things, but when it comes to today's fuel injection, integrated electronic systems, analog brakes, and such, it's very, very difficult to diagnose one without the proper tools. And Houston Community College made huge investment in all of those tools to help the technicians.
Absolutely. We have just about all the current and latest equipment, including scan tools. And since we have our manufacturers coming on board, they're actually donating some of the manufacturer scan tools that get more in depth with their particular brand, such as Audi and Subaru and Toyota, that gets much further in depth with the vehicle than what Snap-on or Mac or Autel can actually perform. So the students get a lot of the Intel training that they would need to be successful in today's market.
Daryl, how many students in all do you have in the HCC automotive system?
Right now, off the top of my head, we're probably ranging in the 400 or 500 student count, including the diesel program, the collision program, and the automotive program. On an average, we used to run, before COVID ran rampant, we would average 16, 18 students per class in the automotive. Diesels was running about the same in our diesel program. Collision usually was a little bit less because that's a specialty area where students pretty much want to paint cars. They don't actually want to service them. So that was usually a little bit less as far as student count, but we want to get that up as well. Since COVID, we have a waiting list, but we can only allow at a maximum of about 12 students per class.
Wow.
Just
So
for the proper
we're still
social
trying-
distancing.
Yeah, we're still trying to put a quality product out in the field for our business partners, our dealers, and the mom and pop shops. But I got a feeling as soon as this COVID comes to a controlled environment, the field of automotive diesel is going to explode because we've lost a lot of people. I hate to say it, we've lost a lot of people due to this pandemic, and we've got to fill those places.
Right.
So our agenda is to make sure that we're doing all we can to prepare our students for what's available and what's coming out in the field and keep them current.
Daryl, how do you guys compete with the other automotive programs that are out there, the commercial ones? I mean, can you compete head on with them? I mean, is it cheaper?
Oh, absolutely.
Is it cheaper?
Absolutely.
Is it cheaper to go to HCC as opposed to some of the other colleges out?
Well, I won't mention the other college that I was at. That's not good. But one of the advantages that I like is that during the training at HCC, you know as well as I do, when you work on your own vehicle, you want to do top-notch work. When you work on a training vehicle, well, I don't care. I left the bolts out, whatever. Using students' vehicles allows HCC two things. One, they can keep the cost down because they don't have to maintain training vehicles. Now, we do have some trainers, but most of them are usually student vehicles. And I allow students to participate on working on the vehicles within the realm of the class that they're in. So, example, if you're doing brakes, I'll allow you to do brakes on your vehicle. You're driving that vehicle, so you're going to pay much more detailed attention to what you're doing and understand the learning of making sure that that vehicle, when it's completed, you can drive it home. So the learning that we use with that aspect saves the school a lot of money, and it also helps the student be more in tune to what's going on.
And take a greater level of responsibility of what they're doing to make sure they do it right. And and I've, like I said, I've been out to the school quite a few times, not since COVID, but the instructor integration with the student there, you're not in a class of 45 or 50 students as there may be in some of the other schools out there. You guys are a little smaller group, so you have a much more hands-on relationship with the students, and I like that a lot.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You have to give them that you can't really give them one-on-one.
No.
But you can give them one-on-three. Right. And one-on-three is much more effective, I feel, because if I get to one, he's going to help me get to the other two. And you'd be surprised how students adjust to each other, and then all three will adjust to the instructor.
Yeah, they feed off each other.
When you have a large class, typically you have that motivated student, you have that student that don't understand, and you got that lazy student in the back, and he's going to draw down everybody because he's going to complain. Our North Forest facility, which is the newest facility,
and it's
the
gorgeous.
Way that I've had, North Forest, which is at Little York and Homestead. The way I have it set up, I have enough area to where I can put students on teams of 3, and each one of them will have a task. And it has been tremendously effective of them walking out of the class with a mindset, I've learned something today.
Well, the nice thing about your North Forest facility is it's like working at a dealership because the facility's that new, it's that clean, your equipment is that new, and it's that up to date. It's really very, very nice. The other thing you guys do, and I think you do a real good job of, and me with BG has been involved in it through the years, is you do a work fair. Now, you didn't do it this year in COVID, but you generally do a work fair, which is to bring the local businesses in to interview your students, to get to know them so that they can come out and basically get a job, a full-time
Kind of like a job fair.
But it is, it's very much a job fair.
Yeah. And the one thing that we preach to the students religiously, when these guys come to the job fairs or our career fairs, they're coming to hire. They're not coming to give a presentation or give a speech. They're coming to hire. They're looking for qualified students to employ. A lot of the dealers are now doing what they call second chance. So that student, because he had a little issue in his earlier life, a lot of those, the manufacturers, the dealers, the locals, they're having what they call second chance forgiveness. They're giving the students that opportunity to change his life around, and they're employing them. We just had Tommy Vaughn step up as one of our sponsors, which is going to be our largest dealership locally. And he stepped up in a big way, and he's already announced that he wants some of our students in that program to put in his dealership because of the load of business that he has. So my job right now is to get those students registered and get them trained as highly as I can to get them to him so he can get those guys on the floor and get them working.
Well, Darryl, we really appreciate it very much. How can somebody look into coming to HCCS? Is it hccs.edu? Would that
That's
be
correct.
the easiest way for somebody to look into the program?
The easiest way is go to our website, www.hccs.edu. It'll pull you up, and it has our registration instructions. It has what the courses are about, what courses we offer, what campuses. Students have an opportunity to apply for scholarships. There's just a whole host of information and assistance for students to come to the college, prepare themselves, and go after their career that they're desiring. So we welcome anybody to come by the campus or just get on the website and check us out.
Thanks, Darryl. We really appreciate what you guys do for the community, for the automotive community here in Houston as well. And thanks for coming on the show. I'll be out there to see you here shortly.
Hey, you're welcome. I appreciate it, gentlemen. Thank you for the opportunity. Happy New Year to everyone.
Be sure
safe.
and tell all of your students to tune in to the In Wheel Time Car Show.
You got it, my friend. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Darryl. It's great to talk to you. All right. Thanks for joining us here today on the In Wheel Time Car Show. Time now for this hour's feature, This Week in Auto History, and Conrad always does such a great job of that.
And this week in automotive news, the editorial page of the New York Times in 1899 termed the phrase automobile for the first
remember
time.
that.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. In 1917, the New York Auto Show, Studebaker unveiled its touring sedan that was entirely gold-plated. That's the
Wow.
only picture I could find of it. But
And
that
it's in
car
black
was
and white.
gold-plated. That's just another Studebaker there that's similar to it. The Studebaker Corporation announced that it would no longer build farm wagons, and that it started in 1852, and now it was only going to be building automobiles. In 1924, Walter Chrysler, a General Motors executive who'd pioneered the introduction of all-steel bodies, departed and started Chrysler Corporation as he breathed life into the failing Maxwell Motor Company.
Look at those wheels. I like the wheels.
The wires, yeah. So, and then the Maxwell Motor Company was later renamed into the Chrysler Corporation. In 1926, General Motors introduced the Pontiac brand on this day. And in 1937, Nash Motors, you can see there, joined with Kelvinator Corporation and built that green refrigerator. No, I'm just joking. And manufactured and joined Nash and Kelvinator together. And that, I thought that was a gorgeous Nash
It
Woody.
is.
It looks like a
Yeah.
refrigerator I once owned.
And then again, in 1994, Chrysler introduced the Neon. That should be the next picture up.
There it
and the
is.
Chrysler Neon, and then all the derivatives of that was
You know,
actually quite a successful
I was just going to
car.
say they sold the heck out of these
They
things.
did.
And
Those are
in
popular.
the car community, they're referred to as Skittles because they had such a wild collection of colors of those Chrysler Neons. And then in 1996, General Motors announced that it would release the electric car, the EV1. The show car's name of this was the GM Impact. Probably not a good name for an automobile was Impact, but the GM's first electric vehicle, and they had done that only on a lease basis. They never actually sold them, when they closed out the lease on them, GM collected all of them back.
I believe it was the lieutenant governor of the state of Texas today. He and I have known each other for a long, long time.
Mr. Patrick.
And he actually somehow or another got a loan of this vehicle. And I had told him, I said, you know, Dan, I don't think that there's ever been an uglier car in my entire life.
And Jay Leno is actually one of the very few people that GM allowed to keep them.
'Cause they crushed all the rest of
conclusion
them.
of the lease, right?
And those that are watching, we're going to have a test on this schematic next week.
Yeah, that's
But
right.
if you think about it, in 96, 24 years ago, GM released a full electric vehicle to the industry, and they're going to turn around and they're trying to electrify the rest of the fleet here. And I know you've got some more headlines.
Well,
to go with
actually,
that.
it just came out. General Motors, starting next week, is going to redefine its corporate image and marketing strategy to better align with a commitment to electrification. And the new corporate marketing strategy will be centered on electric vehicles.
You ready?
Yep. And the GM logo will be modernized with a sky blue hue and lowercase letters, as you can see here. Can we go back
or
to
we
that?
can go
Yeah,
back
absolutely.
to that, kind of leave it
Let's
up.
just leave it up there just for a second. So the one on the left is the current one that's been around for decades. The new one is on the right. Now, the campaign called Everybody In focuses on accelerating EV. You can go back to it. It's okay.
All right.
Just put it up and leave it up, Jeff.
Jeff's wanting to move
Take
on,
your
and I'm
hands
not.
off the button.
Yeah.
My fingers are cold and the button's not working.
Or is it the button sticking to your Never mind. Focuses on accelerating EV adoption, demonstrating GM's EV plans, and highlighting GM's proprietary Ultium battery platform. Spokesperson described the media support behind the campaign as very significant, but declined to actually provide details about it. The person familiar with the campaign told Ad Age that it will be supported with a Super Bowl ad. GM plans to launch a rebranded website also on Monday. That ought to be something to see, to share the latest information on its electrification. And you'll notice that the emphasis on the M on the new logo.
The one on the
Not
right.
The one on the right. If you look at it in kind of a different way, it looks like an electrical plug.
So are they going to offer the adapter so you have the three-pronged plug
I knew
in there?
you were
at
going to
some
go
point?
there. To make it look like make it look like a.
Mike's turning his head sideways.
I'm trying to get it. I'm trying to get that.
You're sick. You know, a man can't even do a decent story around here with you clowns.
Squirrel.
Jacking around.
But that's our nature, isn't it?
Well, think about how much, we talked about this before the show started. Think about how much money GM is going to spend to launch the new logo.
Oh, my God.
You know,
And how
it's-
much they're going to spend on electrifying their entire fleet.
Well, again, the electrification, if they do it right, it's all going to be about what I call the skateboard platform. So they build a couple of different size skateboards and pop different bodies on top of it. SUV, CUV, pickup truck, car, small car, van, delivery vehicle, all go on basically the same skateboard platform.
Hey, I want to remind everybody the In Wheel Time Car Show streams on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. Podcasts available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, iHeart Podcast, TuneIn, Google Podcast, Pandora, Amazon, and Podcast Addict. In Wheel Time Car Show continues after this quick break. Texas Truck Works is your go-to truck customizer. From mild-to-wild lift kits, custom wheels, and steering and handling enhancements to the best personal and commercial wraps, Texas Truck Works delivers. Let Texas Truck Works founder Scott Stevens help you get the most out of your truck or Jeep. Texas Truck Works has decades of customizing experience, including power adders and complete engine swaps. Let the Texas Truck Works team design an upgrade plan that fits your budget. Get truck attitude today at TexasTruckWorks.com.
Tailpipes and Tacos is Houston's premier cruise-in, and you're invited to join in. Whether you're a cruiser or spectator, Tailpipes and Tacos is the place to enjoy made-to-order breakfast tacos, fresh coffee, and mingle with Houston's fun car people. Mark your calendar for Saturday, January 16th for Tailpipes and Tacos at the Lupe Tortilla Mexican Restaurant in Katy, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Tailpipes and Tacos is free, and everyone is invited. You'll see collector cars, hot rods, customs, magnificent originals, and resto mods all at one location. Cars from all over Southeast Texas cruise in and show off in a friends and family event. The Lupe Tortilla Mexican Restaurant on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10 and Katy. Drag racer, car enthusiast, and Lupe founder Stan Holt brings you Houston's hottest cruise in, Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday, January 16th, 8 to 11 a.m. at Lupe's in Katy. The In Real Time Car Show will be there too. Get your ride ready and we'll see you at the Tailpipes and Tacos Saturday morning cruise in, January 16th, 8 to 11 a.m. at Lupe's in Katy, weather permitting.
Oh, boy.
From Studio A in Texas, USA, it's the award-winning All Things Automotive Car Talk Show. Not oh boy, but in wheel time. Just ahead, a review of our pre-owned car of the week, the 2017 Nissan Rogue. A look at some upcoming racing events you might be interested in, plus Conrad's Car Clinic and the stories making automotive news headlines this week. That and more just ahead on today's In Wheel Time Car Show for Saturday, January 9th, 2021. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world, Mars, King Conrad DeLong, Jeffrey Zekin right off camera over there. He'll be with us with the car review this hour. I'm Don Armstrong. Glad that you could join us on this Saturday. It's a chilly day here in southeast Texas, and we're on a winter storm watch. Just to kind of give you an idea of what we're facing tonight. You know, they got to hype all that stuff up, and they're saying snow, 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 but it's kind of on the way northern reaches of our area that we won't get any.
Well, the news media,
I know that you're,
if they don't keep you in a panic, there's no reason to watch the news.
I can't comment on that.
Oh, that's
fear
right.
of I may
You're
lose my
part-
job.
You're part of them.
Yes. Yes, let's not forget that. Let's just go and play some
Go
more
back
of this.
to that.
Let's go back to that. That way we can forget all that, what you just said. All right.
Can I? I'd like to interject something.
Well, please be right. Do you need
You're
permission?
going to join the show?
No, I just want to make sure.
Let's get Mike on
Because
camera. There you go.
My wife is watching, and it's her birthday today, and I
Oh,
want to
wow.
wish her a happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
So she's only 35, and Mars is way beyond that. So I just
135.
He's been robbing the cradle.
Yeah, I just wanted
That's
to go
right.
ahead and
Happy
say
birthday, Becky.
that. Yes.
So,
Are you taking her out to dinner or anything? Or
just staying
Oh,
home
yeah.
and doing shots.
Yeah, he's
Get
Well,
any
I
shots?
would do that if I could, but she's not much of that into that. Yeah.
I was just going to say, I don't think that you're going to go out in public to go to dinner. It's a dinner that you're going to make for her. Is that what it is?
well, that's what I would try to, but she's not a real big fan of my cooking.
Neither is anybody else.
But that's beside the point.
Opening up a can of chili and pouring it over a bag of Fritos.
Hey.
Only if she's in the kitchen is that a problem. If she's not in the kitchen and doesn't see it, then it's really not a problem.
Listen, I just bought a brand new batch of Wolf brand chili, and I will be more than happy to turn that over to
Donate
you.
that.
Yeah.
When I'd
but
appreciate
you
that.
usually buy the expired stuff.
No, I
At the
keep it so
99 cent only
the dented
store.
cans without the labels on them.
They're already open.
the dented ones. There's that. All right. So is Daryl still with us?
No, we've lost Daryl. I'm
Okay.
trying to get back with Daryl.
So let's get to the car review then and see if we can get Daryl to come back.
Well, you know who the car review would be.
Yeah, how about that?
That would be Mr. Jeffrey Zekin. So we can finally get the camera off of us and get the camera onto Jeff Zekin.
You want to do that this way?
Yeah.
We got to give it to Mike here.
Well, that's fine.
We'll give it to
I know.
Mike.
I know that you. I know.
Talk amongst yourselves.
So we have to pardon us because we were expecting Daryl to still be with us, but I think that he walked off and said, "I've had
He
enough
did
of
walk
this."
off.
But
He
at
did
any rate,
walk off.
Jeff always does our pre-owned car of the week. He was charged with finding something that is pre-owned and that is relevant to today's buyer in the used car field, and that would be something that, generally speaking, would have under 50,000 miles on it, would be a car that's 3 or 4 years old. And Jeffrey, I know that
In
you know,
most cases.
yeah. And part of the reason that we put Jeff on camera is so you could see that mess of junk that's behind him back there.
Where he's got to work, where we put him
Yeah,
in the
we
corner.
stick him in the corner back over there.
I actually have some help with this car review this morning. So we have a young man here.
Alex, you going to help
Alex
us?
here.
Yes.
He's just to my right.
Yeah.
So,
So
we're-
lean in just a little bit more. There you go. There you go. Say
There
hello
we
to
go.
everybody.
There you
That's
go.
it. Okay.
All right, you get out. No, get over here.
There's your 10 seconds of fame.
There you go.
That's
You're
it.
famous. We need more Alex.
We
That's
do.
what need. So this is a 2017 Nissan Rogue SV. Available trims on this are the S, the SL, the SL Sport, the SV, and a hybrid. They actually make a Star Wars edition of this, which is a black car with black wheels,
Kinda
black
looks like
interior.
Darth Vader's
Is it
helmet.
really called the Star Wars
It's called
edition?
Star-
Yeah, it
it's
was.
what they call the quoted "murdered out" type
And
vehicle.
they did a whole ad campaign
They did.
selling them
Absolutely did.
as the Star Wars version.
So this is an SV. It's an SUV, so far as what class it is, the size. It's a 5-passenger. Some of the changes, you've got some changes were minor grille changes on this. You can see on the front on that photo there. They have upgraded it recently, but just minor stuff going on through the whole vehicle. You got bumper protectors. You've got a 4-piece splash guards. Basic appearance package. You got fog lamps. You got roof rails that you see there on the photograph. You can actually add a sunroof to it, but you get into the other trim levels to get all that good stuff there. Interior highlights, you got turn signals on the mirrors, which was something for that year on the 17. Dual airbags, satellite radio. You get 3 months free, even on a pre-owned. You get 3 months free through the dealership.
Nice.
You can either get a 4-speaker or 6-speaker options. You got USB connections, 6-way power driver's seat, and a 4-way manual. Good pod on the dashboard there. They're all typical, and I'm into the straight pod on that because of the vehicle I have. It's all very cool. So moving on to the engine, you got a 2.5-liter inline 4-cylinder 16-valve dual overhead cam. Woo-hoo.
Backed up by a CVT transmission.
You betcha. And it's 170 horsepower at 6,000 RPMs, 175 foot-pounds of torque at 4,400. You see the engine there. They're all pretty basic. They're all pretty much the same throughout many years, multiple years of this. 26 miles per gallon in the city, 33 on the highway. And according to Alex, he gets 29 combined.
Yeah.
Ride and handling, you've got your 4-wheel ABS, traction control, engine immobilizer, which is something that you don't appreciate.
And thank goodness it's a Nissan and not a Hyundai.
Right. Well, exactly. We're going to get to that here in a minute, and reason why. You've got brake assist. You've got stopping control on this vehicle. As tested, this vehicle is 13.4. Mike, if you want to hold that shot, we're going to get to that in just a second. 13.4 at 35,000 miles. Now, one of the things we talked about last time, you can get this as if you got a good score rating and a good Beacon score, you can get this at around a 3 to 5% interest rate, which is about a $728 market value, below market value around the area, the Houston area. You can go anywhere from $728 to $1,500 depending on the markup of the vehicle and the mileage. Of course, the mileage is going to depend a lot.
My son Austin bought one of these as a used car, and he absolutely loves it.
Yep. Taxes on this are anywhere between $800 and $1,000, depending. And they say it's a $20 car payment for every $1,000 you have. That's pretty much normal with banking. I've found 2 others located here in Houston, one with 66,000 miles at 12.8, and then another one with 76,000 miles at 12.2.
And Nissan Rogue is Nissan's #1 selling vehicle and has been for quite some time.
Exactly. Now, that shot there, the logo, Nissan is the 5th largest auto manufacturer in the world. They're in 20 countries. They sell about 3 million vehicles a year. Now, this logo they actually started in 1914, and without getting into a lot of it with time.
Do we have another logo like the last one we had?
You're looking at it there, big boy. So the original name was DAT or DAT, and then the 3 owners came up with we need more than DAT, so they put the sun
We all
on
need
it.
more than that.
Who dat?
The Datsun actually means prompt and vivid in Japanese. So, and you see the circle around there. Originally, the circle was red and white. It was a red circle that became distinguished in the sign of a brand with the blue rectangle inside where you see the Nissan. With the word in it in the middle.
The song? Oh, the
Yep,
circle.
red and blue.
But originally it was Datsun.
Exactly, but they turned to Nissan back in around 1933 or so. it embodied the sun in the sky. That's what that logo is. You got the sun in the sky as a meaning of that vehicle. Of course, the word Nissan is the company name.
Thank goodness it's not two
no
guys
shaking.
shaking hands.
Exactly. In the Japanese, they do not betray the style and remain academic and mysterious. The emblem turned out to be fairly simple. It means the rising sun. So that's Japanese. It appeared in
there
2000.
is a house in New Orleans.
Different rising
They
sun.
call the rising sun.
Okay.
So what did you do with all that money?
Gee
We
whiz.
wandered off.
Exactly. The symbol denotes the sun and sincerity, and it brings sincerity and success is the total meaning of that logo.
I want you to know that I went to the Sam Houston Coliseum, and I believe it was 1965 or 6, to see Eric Burdon and the Animals.
There you go.
That was my first real rock and roll concert.
Okay, and that's just wonderful.
Well, I just wanted to let you know that was the House of the Rising Sun.
Next week we're going to do something different.
Yeah?
I would hope so, because if we did the same thing, we'd probably wander off to the same place we are right now.
And I'm bringing Alec back for his encore.
His encore.
Well, thanks, Jeff. We appreciate that. Like I said, Austin has one, and he loves it.
Yeah.
You know, pretty bulletproof little SUV.
It is.
They really are.
So last hour we had Daryl Burris on the line with us to talk about the HCC automotive program. And Daryl, what did they take the key away from you for the facility, or what's the deal? You have to fill us in.
Okay. Typically, to get in the facility, you have to go through a COVID-19 pre-check.
Oh.
Which is at the campus right now, unless the manager has approved screening employees, you're not allowed in the building.
So, in other words, we've screwed up and didn't get permission to go in there.
So what I want to do and offer, I think I sent some photographs of the internal part of the lab. I don't know if anyone has those. But I sent those in reference to if you have any questions. If you're not able to show them, then obviously
You're screwed.
I'm extending a big invitation that our semester starts January 19th, which would give everybody an opportunity from then until, unless something traumatic happens, an opportunity to come to the campus, and we can actually do either a virtual walkthrough or we can do a actual face-to-face walkthrough, whichever is convenient for anyone that wants to.
That's more mask to mask than I think it is face to face.
Okay, mask to mask.
Hey, Daryl, can you show the pictures from where you are? Can you share?
No, I'm not that computer savvy.
He knows how to work on cars, just not his laptop. Hey, Daryl, what's the one of our listeners was asking a question about a program coming to the Alief area. Is there any progress on that?
I'm not familiar with the programs at the Alief.
Location.
I know that's a growing school as far as that location, but I have really no information to share.
And Eric, Eric Allen was asking that, and I wasn't aware that the automotive program was going to expand, because your location's kind of the expansion of the automotive program within HCCS. So,
well, what was his name?
Eric Allen.
Eric, we found out is looking for free car repair, and that's how we came across all of that. Yeah, so never mind. Just saying.
Well, you know, one of the things I really like about your program is, and again, that comes to me working for BG, is you guys have BG equipment out there, and you actually train, you offer a automotive maintenance level certificate where they can come in and learn how to do all the maintenance work on a vehicle, and then almost within about 3 months go out to work at a shop or a dealership or an independent shop.
Right.
To
That's called our Block 1 intro class, which is basically where the students learn how to actually put a car on a hoist properly. They actually learn about repair orders, shop manuals. The second part of it is called automotive maintenance service. And we utilize BG equipment and BG products, such as your transmission flush, your coolant flush. We do the brake flush, power steering, which is going away. If you notice, most of our vehicles now
Going electric.
starting to have electronic steering. We do get into the second part of it, which is brakes. And a lot of that has to deal with the upcoming electrical brakes, which is being featured on a lot of our vehicles. I have an Audi that actually has a electrical parking brake instead of a mechanical parking brake. It utilizes a switch and an actuator to actually lock the rear wheel.
Yeah, as they go to electrification of vehicles, more and more of that's going to be normal. You know, right now we kind of look at it as it's a little bit far out there. You know, Nissan offers that electronic steering that really you're physically disconnecting the steering wheel from the tires on the vehicle, and it's purely inputs and sensors and servos.
That is correct.
And then now you're talking about how they're doing that with braking systems, and Tesla to a degree does that with their regenerative braking system, where they use your braking is creating electricity into the batteries, and that's how they do the force of braking. And all of that's new stuff today, but it's going to be the normal stuff tomorrow. Quickly tomorrow, that's going to be the normal.
Right. Tomorrow's not that far away.
Now, isn't that called like drive-by-wire and stop-by-wire?
Drive-by-wire, steer-by-wire.
Steer-by-wire.
Now, drive-by-wire has been out for quite some time, since pre-2010. I'm going to say like
Right.
So, you know, your gas pedal's not connected to the engine. It's all done by wires.
Right.
The brake-by-wire is relatively new, and the steer-by-wire, Nissan's been doing that now, and Infinity's been doing
10
that
years.
now for quite a
10
few
years.
years.
Wasn't
yeah.
that developed through the Air Force or some military?
The drive-by-wire.
The drive-by-wire.
And it's
Right.
it seems like it's complicated. It's quite simple in function, complicated in how they actuate it.
One of the questions I have, Daryl, now you've got students that graduate and move on to different dealerships. You indicated earlier the San Antonio, Austin area, Houston area. Do you keep in touch, or do they keep in touch with you with their advancements? So, you know, you're a technician, you might move up into management, and then, you know, possibly a dealer principal later on. Do you keep up with those young folks to find out what their careers have taken them?
A lot of I won't say a lot. There are quite a number of students that I personally have a communication base with. Some of them we actually do what we call our 30-day check-in. You know, hey, Mr. Burns, how you doing? Just checking on you. Recently, it's been more frequent because of, again, COVID, making sure that I'm okay, that they're okay. Several of the students actually call me in reference to assistance in diagnostic. Hey, I got this problem with this car and I can't figure it out, and this and that, and we'll kind of go through a step-by-step. And they said, that's not written in the book. I said, well, remember you learned a long time ago, everything that happens out in the field is not necessarily written in the book. If you know how it works, you can fix it. So right now, one of my biggest students, the joke is, I have a very good friend that teaches at the Ford training facility up off of 249 in 1960. We were talking, and he says, yeah, I'm going to the Ford training. I got to get my certification in TEDS. Well, if you guys know, TEDS is a seat warmer. That's what they call it. Going up to that class, he mentioned the instructor's name. So I was kidding with him. I said, oh, that's my best friend. Let me give him a call and make sure that you failed. Oh, you don't know.
Oh, good.
Nice.
So as we were talking, I got him on the phone, and he answered the phone. And I said, I got a young man. He says, oh, I know that young man. I said, make sure he fails for me. He said, got it done, no problem. And the students hollered, oh, Mr. Bird, please don't do that. Please don't do that. So it's one of those that you are honored, whether it's one student or 1,000 students, to know that you were part of their career building and leading to help them become successful.
Yeah, and it's satisfying to you as an instructor to have given that student an opportunity to grow, to become more connected within the automotive community because
Right.
people don't realize how.
It's more than successful. I'm honored.
Yeah.
We're helping one life at a time. The more we help and the more input, just warms my heart. So I'm honored on something like that.
Yeah, Alex Kosterman came in on Facebook and said that Alfa Romeo today has a purely brake-by-wire system on their vehicle as well, which I was unaware of. That I just don't follow Alfa that close, but yeah, that's pretty cool. Thanks, Alex. Now you also have the service manager, shop foreman at Helfman Dodge out at I-10 and
610.
And 610 is a graduate from your program. So
That's
you know,
outstanding.
You've really done a good job of developing people not just to go into the shop to work as technicians or diagnosticians, but you're also developing people that want to aspire to be in the management level, and that's pretty cool because turning a wrench is hard enough, much less having to deal with customers that are sometimes asking for the right thing, but maybe not in the right way.
And that, also with that, what you just said, being in management and at a particular dealership, Daryl actually has a pipeline now because they can refer back through the shop or through the management side of it, even the finance end of it, the inner office.
Well, and that's one of the co-op things you talked about earlier, how you'll do a student will go to school for so many hours and go to work for so many hours, and that co-op program is very important. So the more people that come out of the program and go into a management position at a dealership, they come back to feed on your co-op program, which feeds the need in the industry for more technicians, because believe me, from my side of things, I'm going to tell you, in Houston, there's probably the need for 1,000 technicians in the industry right now.
Daryl,
what?
I'm sorry. Daryl, what is the highest level of degree that you offer there at HCC?
You can get a associate's degree if you go through the whole automotive program, including the co-op. So the only thing that you actually would need to complete would be your English and math, and that would pretty much solidify your degree.
And that's one of the advantages that HCC offers, and I'm going to say as well, San Jacinto College offers, that you can graduate your program with an associate's degree. That Don was asking about some of the other auto technician programs out there don't offer, is that you do offer an opportunity for a person to come out with an associate's degree.
And they can turn that degree to credit for a 4-year college towards a bachelor's degree. So that is correct.
Yeah, which is kind of what I did. I got a BS degree. Oh boy!
He said it. I didn't.
Daryl knows me. He knows it's true.
His degree is 98.6.
Yeah, I got all my ridicule in the first hour of the program, so it's somebody else's
Time
turn
to beat
now.
up on me.
Yeah.
Well, you gentlemen mentioned a minute ago about needing 1,000 technicians, and that's a little bit under what we're actually looking for. Because if you notice, in Houston, as we are considered one of the transportation hubs of America, Houston is growing and still growing. With that in mind, it's hard to get across Houston without any type of transportation. Metro only goes so far.
Right.
So the average guy that has to go from the north side to the south side, let's say he has to be at work at 7, he has to leave home at 4 o'clock in the morning to possibly use Metro, and still he's got to either ride a bike or walk. So, transportation is a huge part of Houston, and there's a lot of needs for technicians out there.
Well, cool. We really appreciate you coming on again, Daryl. And again, for all of our listeners, hccs.edu would be your place to go for more information. Daryl, thanks a lot. I'll come out and see you again.
I wish you would. Guys, please extend out to your viewers, and as well as you, stop by the new campus, see what our facility looks like in real time. Stop by the Northline campus, see what that facility has to offer. And for anybody that is really interested and wants more in depth, I'm available every day at the North Forest campus from 7 in the morning to 3 in the afternoon.
Daryl, thanks again. We appreciate it. We'll talk to you again soon.
Appreciate it.
You bet. Daryl Burris with Houston Community College Auto Program. All right. Racing, well, there isn't much, but we got a lot coming up.
Oh, yeah. Well, if you're interested right now, and you can go on, what's it, MSNBC or NBC Sports, you can see the Dakar Rally. The Dakar Rally, I think, is pretty cool. It's truly a challenge to drive, 14 days across the deserts of Peru and the mountains of Peru, flat out.
I think Mr. Mars and I actually know somebody with the Houston Auto Writers Association. Sue Mead.
Yeah.
Isn't she in?
She's over there.
Sue's done that before.
She's over there now with another team.
Yeah, and that's an invitation kind of thing, and she is that good at what she does.
But it's a big program to be able to go do that. It's not just bring your car and go run.
Oh,
you got to have a lot of support.
Got a big
vehicles,
support.
right?
Yeah.
So, but the next thing up on the racing calendar is going to be the Roar Before the 24, and that's the Rolex 24 Hours of Daytona. And the Roar Before the 24 starts on the 24th
of this month.
January.
Okay.
And then the 24 Hours of Daytona will be on starting January 31st. The cool thing about that is when you look at the reason they run that so early in the season, it invites so many other drivers. And if you read Alec Udell's piece on our Facebook page, on In Wheel Time's Facebook page, it brings so many other drivers from so many other racing genres into the 24 Hours of Daytona. This year, we're going to have Formula One drivers, IndyCar drivers, NASCAR drivers, NHRA drivers are coming to run in it.
So it's dusting off the skills, getting the rust off before the season starts.
Exactly. It puts them in a car, and it puts them in the stress of racing. And so the 24 Hours of Daytona is the next one up. After that, the Daytona 500 will be November 14th. NHRA starts on March 14th. IndyCar starts on March 5th. Woo-hoo. Formula One also starts on March 18th. So, we're about to come into season here.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. I'd like to remind you that the In Wheel Time Car Show streams on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. Podcasts available on Apple Podcast, Spotify, Stitcher, Radio, iHeart Podcast, TuneIn, Google Podcast, Pandora, Amazon, and Podcast Addict, just to name a few. In Wheel Time Car Show continues right after this quick break.
Texas Truck Works is your go-to truck customizer. From mild-to-wild lift kits, custom wheels, and steering and handling enhancements to the best personal and commercial wraps, Texas Truck Works delivers. Let Texas Truck Works founder Scott Stevens help you get the most out of your truck or Jeep. Texas Truck Works has decades of customizing experience, including power adders and complete engine swaps. Let the Texas Truck Works team design an upgrade plan that fits your budget. Get truck attitude today at TexasTruckWorks.com. Tailpipes and Tacos is Houston's premier cruise-in, and you're invited to join in. Whether you're a cruiser or spectator, Tailpipes and Tacos is the place to enjoy made-to-order breakfast tacos, fresh coffee, and mingle with Houston's fun car people. Mark your calendar for Saturday, January 16th for Tailpipes and Tacos at the Lupe Tortilla Mexican Restaurant in Katy, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Tailpipes and Tacos is free, and everyone is invited. You'll see collector cars, hot rods, customs, magnificent originals, and resto mods all at one location. Cars from all over Southeast Texas cruise in and show off in a friends and family event. The Lupe Tortilla Mexican Restaurant on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10 and Katy. Drag racer, car enthusiast, and Lupe founder Stan Holt brings you Houston's hottest cruise in, Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday, January 16th, 8 to 11 a.m. at Lupe's in Katy. The In Wheel Time Car Show will be there too. Get your ride ready and we'll see you at the Tailpipes and Tacos Saturday morning cruise in, January 16th, 8 to 11 a.m. at Lupe's in Katy, weather permitting. Is your business or company looking to stand out in a crowded advertising market? Looking to reach the real auto enthusiast? Well, you found it. You're listening or watching In Wheel Time, and so are your fellow enthusiasts. The In Wheel Time Car Show now reaches 500,000, and we can put together a marketing plan that will engage them in your product, business, or service. To get the tires rolling, just shoot us an email to our marketing director, Jeff Zekin. His address is jeff@inwheeltime.com.
This is the award-winning car talk show In Wheel Time, your weekly go-to all things automotive place. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world, Mars, King Conrad DeLong, Jeffrey Zekin right off camera over there, and me, the mystery man. Glad that you could make it along with us on this Saturday.
And our in-studio guest.
In studio.
Kathy.
Kat is what George called you, and Alex, her
Yes,
son.
that's right. So,
And Alec did assistance with me on my car review. Thank you.
yeah,
Very good job.
So, and welcome and thank you for the nice pastries that you brought today. You did not have to do that.
And
but
the
we truly
everything
appreciate it.
bagels.
What are you bringing next week?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think, what we should do is we should start selling tickets to the live program. And the price of admission has got to be some pastries. Food.
So we have to buy the tickets to let them in.
Uh-huh.
Okay, we're the ones that they get in free. We have to buy them.
John Gray is going, hey, count me in on some of that breakfast stuff.
John Gray, my goodness, it's been a while since we talked to you. Gulf Coast Auto Shield, and John is our go-to guy, not only with car finishes, but John does a lot more than that. He does installations of stereos and window tint, all these different things. But he's got an awesome shop over there not too far from the fine folks at Professional Auto Care.
And John also plays in the high end of cars. He's got a good relationship with the Tesla community here in town, and generally always has some pretty fancy rides in there getting their paint protection done as well.
Hi, John. How are you, brother? Good to see you.
Good morning, boys. How are y'all?
You're just sitting there eating all this up, aren't you?
He's showing us.
I tell you,
showing us his whiskey collection over his shoulder.
We're doing shots.
We're doing shots. We're all going down to John's plate. Look at that. Woo-hoo.
Yeah. Heitzman even saw it. Yeah.
Yeah, we like it a lot. So we'll on our way as soon as the show's over.
Most people don't mind waiting here because they have access to it.
Yeah, well, we like it. Yeah. So let's talk.
Conrad was talking about the 24 hours of Rolex 24 at Daytona. If you ever get a chance to go. The access is absolutely amazing. You get right next to the drivers. It's absolutely an incredible event to go to.
Yeah, it's one of my bucket list things to do. So I haven't yet, and one of these days I'll get in the car.
We need to go down there and do a broadcast or something. We got to find some excuse
Sounds good
to go
me.
there.
Yeah.
So we understand you may have a new toy. Is that correct?
I do. I've ordered this thing 18 months ago. Well, it was 17 months to the day when I picked it up, and we honestly we didn't think we were going to get it. My little dealer down at Von Will, ordered it for me, and of course he was darn near last. But they about 2 months ago we were surprised to get a VIN number, and we actually got it. So,
do you happen to have this mystery vehicle there at the shop?
I do. I do have it.
I think that what we should do is we'll wait till we get out in the shop and take a look at it.
Unveil it.
Yeah,
sure. It's really neat. I'm really excited about it.
John, I wanted to ask you about the number one thing that you do at Gulf Coast Auto Shield. What is the number one thing that people buy from you?
The thing that generates the most interest in what we do is paint protection film. We're really busy with paint protection film. Matter of fact, from an independent standpoint, we're the biggest XPEL shop in the state and one of the top 10 in the country. And it's a hard product to put on. It's a hard product to make look good. And XPEL's fantastic. They're a great company. They've got a great warranty. But I have some guys that are really, really talented as well. And so we've been able to kind of create a really good reputation for not only doing good work with paint protection film, but for backing it up. And if there's ever an issue, it's something that we're going to replace.
Well, John, for the people that don't really understand what it is exactly, the paint protection film, explain to them in simple terms exactly what it is and why is it so hard to apply?
Well, it's a urethane. So it is a urethane layer that is applied with an adhesive on the film. And it's applied with soap and water. And, it's not so difficult to apply to like a flat surface, but if you're talking about a bumper that's got multiple curves in it, and the film is designed and compensated for those curves, you've got to stretch, you've got to align. And, wherever your starting point is, if you don't have a great alignment on your starting point, the entire bumper is going to be off. So it is some really, really difficult work. And I'll be very honest with you. I mean, I went to class. It's just something that frustrates me. I really can't do it. I mean, if we get to the point where I'm applying film here, it's time to shut the doors.
Yep, I can relate.
Because it's really, really difficult work. And like I said, I'm lucky, very fortunate to have some really, really talented people.
Well, explain to everybody exactly how it works, because once it's applied, it has kind of a magic quality to it, and that it heals itself. Explain that.
It does. It's a multiple layered product. It's got a top coat on it, almost like a clear coat on a car. Obviously, it's not near as hard, so it can absorb some impact. But that top coat, when you put heat on it, if you've got like light scratching, swirl marks, things of that nature, as long as it hadn't gone through the top coat, that top coat under heat will reflow itself, and you can make it heal. But the main thing, the most important thing about it is you would have to take a really, really significant hit for it to damage your paint. Matter of fact, I've seen hits on hoods that were aluminum, like a Tesla hood, that were hit so hard that it dented the paint, or dented the car, but yet it didn't damage the paint. Now, obviously, it all depends on the angle of the hit, but that's saying something right there. So it is now that didn't self-heal, of course, the film in that case, but it is a really legitimate product when installed properly. It disappears on the car.
Yeah. Now, do they sell a clear bra type of application in most cases?
As far as the dealerships?
Well, no. Like for you,
like
for
what
instance.
You put on.
Yeah, like what you put on.
Do you just put on the Expel on the front of the vehicle, in the back of the mirrors, or do you do the whole vehicle?
Oh, we do the whole vehicle. Matter of fact, when we go out in the shop, I'll show you a vehicle or two that we actually have in here that we are going to be doing full film on. That's not something that I would necessarily recommend for every car, but once you start to get up into a certain price point, especially a car that is going to hold its value, that becomes it's something that I would say it can really add value to the car.
You want to do everything you can to protect it, even if it's just a little bit.
Right. And, like I got a call from a guy with a Hyundai Palisade. I guess he paid about $48,000 for it. And, I recommended what's the recommendation on something like that? The partial kit where it only covers part of the hood, the bumper, the lights, and the mirrors. From a value standpoint, that's it. I mean, that's where 90% of the damage is going to occur on your car.
Right.
So
yeah, I want to see Herman's car, because Herman's on Facebook with us, and he said you have one of his cars in there right now, and I will absolutely butcher his last name, so I won't even try.
Yeah, well, you butchered his first name too. It's Hernan.
Oh, it is. Yeah, get your glasses. Here, you want to borrow my glasses?
Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, I told him his car was going to be on Facebook this morning, so he's tuning into it.
Nice job, Kernrad.
But the beauty of the Expel product is that it not only protects the paint, but it keeps the car, I'm going to say, cleaner, because it's much easier to clean the Expel product than it is to clean the paint.
It can, especially when we apply a certain type of ceramic coating to that film. I wouldn't apply the same type of ceramic coating on the paint that I would do on the film. Most of our coatings are a heavy solids coating, which is something that's got a lot of solvent in it. We have some very light solids coatings that when we put it on that film, it makes it really, really easy to clean up. And using the right products, even without the coating, it's something that you can clean up very, very easily as well.
Now, is paint correction as important on a new vehicle before you put the Expel coating on it or wrap on it, film on it?
Well, I'm gonna dispel some. You know, there's some people that will try to sell you full paint correction before film goes on, and there may be a case or two where that's needed. I don't advocate that personally. That film is so thick, and the way it lays, it levels the paint. You know, if you've got some minor stuff in there, no, I wouldn't waste the customer's money on doing that, because all of that stuff will disappear. I can honestly sand your initials with 3,000 grit sandpaper in the hood of a car, lay film on it, and you would never know that I did that.
Wow.
Well, there's an honest business person.
It levels the paint. So it's just now paint chips. Yeah, we're going to try to touch up paint chips to the best of our ability. It'll never really be perfect unless you get it sprayed, which is, you know, the reason why, you know, it makes it important to do the car as quickly as you can before you get some paint chips in it. But as far as the correction goes, I'm not going to sell a customer that unless it's in really, really bad shape.
Okay, well, that's fair and honest. You know, a lot of people are trying to oversell, and you're just going to do what's right, you know. So
Yep, every time.
All right. So we've got the paint correction. We've got the paint coating. We've got the overlay, like the Expel product.
Right.
You know, I've known John, 15
4 or 5 years.
Yeah, to say the least. Matter of fact, was introduced to him by a dear friend of mine that he sold his business and it's no longer there. But we got introduced, and he says, "Man, you really got to meet this guy. He really knows a lot about paint and all that." So that's how far back we go. And he's done a lot of work on my Corvette because goodness knows it needed it. You know, a car that's 20 years old, you can imagine.
and black,
Which is
always the hardest color to.
Absolutely terrible. Yeah. Yeah. So at any rate, I know that you have some other special things going on there at Gulf Coast Auto Shield. And you're going to take us out into the shop?
I'm going to take you out in the shop and show you a couple things.
I can't wait.
Yeah, we got a couple cool things. Let me see if I can flip my camera around here.
Okay.
There we go.
Because
Nice chair.
All right, there's
Awesome.
I'm going to introduce you to Alex here. Alex is my one of my window tinters, and I guess he's my lead guy, and he's about to cut some film for a Cayenne that we've got outside. Say what's up, Alex.
Hey guys.
So you actually,
Alex goes, "Leave me alone. I'm working."
so you actually have a pattern that you cut out for the window tint?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for the vast majority of them, yeah, we can. We have patterns.
Saves on the waist.
Exactly.
We make them. You get a better fit, but we also cut them a little bit long because you don't want a line between the edge of the window and where the film starts. So my guys cut it long and they shave it right up against the edge of the window, so it's one continuous piece and not some line that goes on the side. It really looks bad.
well, that looks bad in a different kind of way.
Oh my gosh, is that beautiful?
Let me tell you something. This is the new 2021 992 Turbo S.
Oh my gosh.
This is a monster of a car.
How much does that thing retail for?
I think this is a 230.
$230,000. Nice.
Yeah, for the cab, and it is as bad
to the bone.
As they get.
Yeah,
that is beautiful.
All-wheel drive. It's just really something else. They're amazing vehicles. Roof is extra.
Yeah.
On this car, we are gonna film the entire car. It's over here in Jerry's space because we are installing built-in laser diffusers with radar detectors front and rear on this one. And
laser diffusers, I love that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's the new Star Wars thing that he's into these days.
Stealth.
I tell you, it's the only countermeasures available for police laser.
Hey, John.
Do you also install photon torpedoes? No, I'm sorry.
We do.
That's in another room in the back.
Yeah. It's another different place.
Here's another fantastic car. This is the new GT4. Man, this little car's got the, it's a mid-engine with the 4-liter 6-cylinder in it.
The Cayman, yeah.
Maybe the best track car around from a new car perspective.
Are these customer vehicles, or are these sent to you from the particular dealership for future sale?
These are customer dealers, or customer vehicles.
Yeah, and I assume that you
gorgeous.
actually went and picked that up and drove it over to the shop.
This guy actually, we picked up the Turbo S. I sent a flatbed for that one, but the customer actually dropped this car off.
Yeah,
That
at
is
the shop.
stunning. I love that.
and after you get through with it, you're going to have to test drive it.
I probably won't. But I've driven so many of them that, and not only that, when you're driving somebody else's car, you never want to. We're being as careful as we possibly can, and
You don't
trying
want
to
to
get it back to the client.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this
you don't
is
want to be
Houston.
that guy that dinged it.
Yeah.
And 24
I don't
Hours
wanna
of
be that
Daytona is
guy.
coming up, too.
Be on the news or
Yeah.
have your YouTube video of you with doing
Yep.
something wrong.
In a helicopter chase or something.
Don following you all the way to Winnie.
It just takes one. It just takes one time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's
ruin
3
your
of us here that have
reputation.
done it all.
Mars in particular, he's the one who always gets the tickets.
That's why
Here's
they
a car.
don't.
This is-
That's why they don't give him
I
the
did-
red key fob.
I did go pick up this car, and we were walking around the car, and you see that that primer on the back. She wanted her luggage area. Well, it turns out somebody had already backed into the car.
Oh no!
and this thing brand new, and so we're taking care of that for her. and
It's a
then we're gonna
Mercedes-Benz what?
It's an AMG.
GLE 53.
Yeah.
AMG. Yeah. We got a Mercedes dealership here today.
No kidding.
So
yeah.
That's pretty, too.
this car is a GLC 63S. This one is a GLC. Actually, it's a GLE. They're so similar. One's bigger than the other. This is a wonderful car. I mean, look at this. Look at these. Let me get on this side of it because we can see it better. I mean, absolutely fantastic.
So really, this is more along
ceramic.
the lines of a candy shop over here.
Yeah, this car we did full front clear bra on it. Protected some stuff on the sides of it, and then we did our ceramic, our fine lap heel light ceramic coating on the rest of the paint, and tinted the windows. I mean, what a fantastic car this is!
So
I mean,
John-
it sounds so good.
John, on the front wrap that you're putting on there, does it go all the way up to the end of the hood, up to the pillar? Or I mean,
This one did, yes, and we wrapped it. We actually wrap it around the edges, so that you can't. So there are no lines going down the side.
Well, that's what
of
I
the
was
hood.
looking for was the lines, and you just can't see them.
There are none.
Well,
There are none.
that's why going to you is the choice. Because you can see a lot of bad protective wraps out there, and some of the poor quality of protective wrap material
Well, they
that's out there.
shortcut
We talked about alignment. Those panels are done right there, and as long as you align it right and wrap it around the edge, you're just not going to see it.
Right.
Check this one out, man. This is a pretty cool car over here.
Now, John, are there patterns for that as well? We saw the young man cutting
do
out
you
a pattern for the
custom
window.
cut these?
Yeah, or do you custom? You apply it.
There
and then trim it?
are. It depends on some areas we will do it custom. Some areas we will use patterns, but we customize the patterns to wrap around the edges, and even some areas we'll extend it like 1/10 of an inch just to make a better fit than what the pattern offers.
So it holds the wrap around whatever door or fender.
Yeah, this is the Avant. This is the
Oh my gosh, is that gorgeous?
S6 Avant. For some reason, and I think it's a cool car and everything. There is about a year wait on this car.
Wow,
Really?
Yeah, it's crazy. And why did this work so well and the Panamera Turismo didn't? I don't get it. But what a beautiful car this is. This is really, really pretty. I'll show it to you from the back.
And that's a gray without metallic.
Yeah, that's kind of the new chalky Nardo gray.
Oh, I love
it. Is what it actually is. And let's go look at old Hernan's car.
Yeah, because that's why
Just a little
Hernan's
while.
on, right?
That's right. So that is Hernan's GT4 right there.
Oh my gosh, is that
And he's
blue
gonna
enough?
Yep, he's going to track this car.
Is he?
Yeah. So we did. Not only did we do the full front on it, we did an extended rocker panel kit to keep the sides looking right, and some coverage right behind the rear wheels. And
Yeah,
That
if he's going to track it, he's going to throw some stuff up there.
Yep, you're going to want to get definitely get some side protection. This is also a cool car. This is another one that, man, I can't keep these in stock. This is the RS Q8.
Oh, Q8 is in an RS no less. It's the Hot Rod Q8.
Yeah, it is an awesome car.
That's
and then
the car of my daughter's dreams is the RS Q8. She's got a
Yeah.
Q3. She wants to grow up to a Q5, and now she's looking at the Q8. And I'm like, keep your high-paying job.
This car is absolutely incredible. And here's the car that we just picked up.
This is your toy?
Yes. Yeah, this is the one that we ordered and didn't think we were going to get. And this is it for me as far as toys.
This
is the last. I've been told it is the last one.
You know, I heard that Ford Motor Companies are going to stop building the Cobras.
Well, they stopped. This is last year was the last year of the 350. This is the 500. This is the 760 horsepower car. They will this car will have another 3 years, 3-year run, and who knows what's next for it. This very well may be the last Shelby that's not electric that we see out of Ford.
I was just going to say, because the next version will be electric. Yeah,
that is very possible. I'm going to bring it around this way.
So, supercharged Coyote 5-liter?
A 5.2 liter supercharged. There's Sergio getting the fender ready to go. And
oh my gosh, that's gorgeous. And what do they call that color besides orange?
Twister orange. And there's Vince laying some film on right there. Of course, we took the Cobra off the side. You can see the holes there.
Yeah.
For it.
It'll go back on, correct?
Absolutely. It will go back on. And that's him aligning it. Look at the size of the brake calipers on that car.
It takes up almost half of it.
So what are those, 20s?
They're 20s, yes, sir.
So that's what, like a 16, 18-inch rotor?
Yep. Well, John, we really appreciate you showing us your toy and all of the toys that are in your shop. We want to be you. And like Don said, it looks like the candy factory. So does that make you Willy Wonka?
I guess it kind of does.
Yeah.
I want your golden ticket.
Yeah. So we're gonna. I was going to say we're going to come back to you at the top of the hour and continue on with tech and process and all that good stuff. So hang in there with us, and we'll be back with you right at the top of the hour. Okay.
Nice. Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much, John Gray, Gulf Coast Auto Shield. He and I go way back, and I'm proud to say. And he's done some work on the Corvette, magnificent as usual, and paint correction mainly. And
they did some work on the Rally 350 as well, and it was stunning.
Got it ready for
Autorama.
when we put it in Autorama, and it was just
it looked awesome,
perfect,
almost glowing.
Yep. And the only part that was missed was the trunk. It continues to be missed.
Well, the outside of the trunk was fine. We're actually going to talk a little bit about that in my segment.
Yeah, the trunk is it's a magic.
There's a bunch of junk in my trunk.
It's a magical mystery is what it is. Anyway, so we're going to check out right now, get back with John Gray in a minute. But time now for Conrad's Car Clinic. And Conrad always manages to pick up something that we would want to know about our cars and service and that sort of stuff.
Well, while we're talking about it, so many people ask why car enthusiasts spend so much money and time on our vehicles. Well, it's kind of the same reason that young kids kind of go out clubbing. Women buy so many shoes. We love it. Some of the best things about getting introduced to cars are the new places, new friends, great memories that last forever that you get a chance to do. You know, Don met up with some people at Lucky's Rod Run last year. The people that you get to meet going to Tailpipes and Tacos, you get to see their cars, you get to see what they've done to their cars. You know, you run into your favorite car shows up at a car show or something you've never seen before. Or me, I'm always looking for that unicorn. So you find that unicorn at a car show. For me, one of those unicorns I found was the Brubaker box I saw up at Randy Shannon's Nifty 50s. And their Brubaker box had a Corvair motor in it, not just the standard Volkswagen Volkswagen
I'm
motor.
sorry, can I interrupt? What is a Brubaker?
Oh,
box?
they're neat.
It was on. They had it on Jay Leno.
Yeah.
It's like this real small minivan that was built by this guy who came from the aerospace industry. That kind of a very, very unique vehicle that you would think was a Volkswagen add-on, but it wasn't. It was built and it was called the Brubaker box. They only sold a few hundred of them.
But with modern styling on it too.
Very, very modern styling on it. And there's I think there's only one in Houston, but it was pretty much sold as a surfer's vehicle out in California.
Yep.
So, but that was kind of my unicorn that I ran into. And to be honest, 90% of the time our cars are maintained to a better standard than most vehicles that we share on the road, because we have, we've got the loud exhausts, anything that makes us stand out from a regular car. We want to do. We want to make our cars unique to what when you run across the same body style somebody else has, that you can tell that that's mine. Some people kind of deem the car enthusiast as a little bit of a dangerous driver. We're really not. I think we're probably some of the more safest drivers out there because we don't want any damage to happen to our car because we've worked so hard on them over the years. Even your car, your Corvette, you got the little wing on the back to make it unique to you. It's got the different wheels on it and stuff that make it unique to you. The cars are an extension of ourselves. It's not just a piece of metal we use to get from A to B.
Or fiberglass, as it were.
Or fiberglass. Countless hours under the hood, smashing our knuckles, breaking tools, having torque wrenches that don't work.
Saying bad words.
On the Oldsmobile, they've got that tooth in the center of the hood, so I've cut my head on that more than once because I'm not smart enough to remember that it's there. But we're all proud to be car enthusiasts, regardless of what anybody else thinks of me or my car. Some people have very unique cars. Some people have cars that people question why you would build that or why you would invest in that car to the level that you do. It doesn't matter. It's all about me and my car.
We have some friends in northwestern United States with a vehicle, a unique vehicle.
That's right. The Mitsubishi Delica. But they make me happy. My cars make me happy. Being amongst other car enthusiasts make me happy. And I challenge anybody, if you're not involved in having a toy car, jump out and get one. You'll find it to be very, very satisfying and very, very frustrating.
In part of the news this week, U.S. Transportation Secretary Elaine Chao announced she is resigning from President Donald Trump's cabinet after supporters of the president breached the U.S. Capitol on Wednesday in protest of his election loss. Chao said she is resigning as of January the 11th and will help her announced successor, former South Bend, Indiana Mayor Pete Buttigieg.
She is also Mitch McConnell's wife.
I did know that. She is the first cabinet secretary to announce her departure after the events and joins a growing list of administration officials who've stepped down with 2 weeks before the end of Trump's term, including former White House Chief of Staff Mick Mulvaney. That is a big, big mess. And one thing that I also wanted to bring up to you is that there is optimism for sales recovery in the second half of this year. Industry built momentum toward the end of 2020, achieving year-over-year sales gains in September and October after battling back from a brutal second quarter. Automakers said dealers closed the year on a high note of profitability as well, with average transaction prices for new vehicles in December projected by some to top $40,000 for the first time.
Wow.
All right, well, that's it for this hour and this segment of the In Wheel Time Car Show. Hour number 3 begins just in 2 seconds. 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. Remember that one.
Texas Truck Works is your go-to truck customizer. From mild-to-wild lift kits, custom wheels, and steering and handling enhancements to the best personal and commercial wraps, Texas Truck Works delivers. Let Texas Truck Works founder Scott Stevens help you get the most out of your truck or Jeep. Texas Truck Works has decades of customizing experience, including power adders and complete engine swaps. Let the Texas Truck Works team design an upgrade plan that fits your budget. Get truck attitude today at TexasTruckWorks.com.
Tailpipes and Tacos is Houston's premier cruise-in, and you're invited to join in. Whether you're a cruiser or spectator, Tailpipes and Tacos is the place to enjoy made-to-order breakfast tacos, fresh coffee, and mingle with Houston's fun car people. Mark your calendar for Saturday, January 16th for Tailpipes and Tacos at the Lupe Tortilla Mexican Restaurant in Katy, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Tailpipes and Tacos is free, and everyone is invited. You'll see collector cars, hot rods, customs, magnificent originals, and resto mods all at one location. Cars from all over Southeast Texas cruise in and show off in a friends and family event. The Lupe Tortilla Mexican Restaurant on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10 and Katy. Drag racer, car enthusiast, and Lupe founder Stan Holt brings you Houston's hottest cruise in, Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday, January 16th, 8 to 11 a.m. at Lupe's in Katy. The In Real Time Car Show will be there too. Get your ride ready, and we'll see you at the Tailpipes and Tacos Saturday morning cruise in, January 16th, 8 to 11 a.m. at Lupe's in Katy, weather permitting.
Hello, everybody, from Studio A in Texas, USA. It's the award-winning All Things Automotive Car Talk Show, In Wheel Time. Just ahead, a review of our new car of the week, the 2021 Chevy Trailblazer. Did I get that right, Mr. Mars?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. A look at our weekly events calendar. Ryan Ainsley has another excellent car adventure segment, and we'll have the stories making automotive news headlines this week. That and more just ahead on today's In Wheel Time Car Show for Saturday, January 9th, 2021. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world, Mars, King Conrad DeLong, Jeff Zeekins off camera over there. We appreciate you being with us today. And we're going to go right back to Mr. John Gray at Gulf Coast Auto Shield. And I think that the word was supposed to be technique and process focus. So, John, thanks so much again for being with us again. Tell us about what's going on there. What are we looking at?
So this is Alex. Alex is tinting the windows on this 2021 Cayenne.
Yeah.
And I will get close to it as you in just a second when he gets a little bit closer to being finished.
What is that he's scraping? What is that he's scraping off the window?
Well, that's actually a squeegee that he's using, and he is squeegeeing out water and soap from between the window tint and the window, and now he's wiping it off so we can check it for any kind of debris or anything that might be in there, just so that so it looks absolutely perfect.
And the soap and water you put on, so you can kind of still have a little bit of ability to move it. Does that also activate the glue?
Yeah, you've got it activate. That's exactly right. So that activates the adhesive. The soap and water do, and you have to be able to align it. And so that enables you. That acts like a slip solution, and that will. Not only will it allow you to move it, but it prevents the adhesive from sticking too soon because it actually floats the film up on the glass. And let me make one more comment about Alex. Alex is actually going to the International Window Film Intent conference in Orlando this summer to represent the entire XPEL company because of his showings in the last two tent offs that they've had. So
congratulations.
In essence, he is one of the best tinters in the country,
and that's why he works for you.
He is not only that, he's a world-class guy too.
And he's taking the rest of the day off after this.
Oh, well, technically, I tell you what a good guy he is. He came in to help on my car. He's off today.
Is it still true that you can't roll down the windows for a period of time once a tint is applied?
Not, it's best practices not to. But the way that Alex installs, the way my guys install, they're going to install below the gasket. And so technically, if you were to roll it down, no, it's not going to hurt it. You notice some of these cars that don't have the full door frame, they go down for air pressure anyway. So you have better installed it underneath the gasket. That's correct. So, in most cases, no, you're not going to have issues if, they were to accidentally roll them down. I'd advise you to wait a day or two maybe, but that's that's it.
So earlier when he was on the computer, he was actually cutting this template for this vehicle.
He was cutting the front windows and the little quarter window that you'll see right there. And that's where it really starts to get tough installing something like that. Just because you really got some tight quarters in there.
So you said the computer cutter that you have, the plotter that cuts, you can actually cut slightly larger. You can design it to cut a little bit larger so that you get the ability to do a little custom fitting.
That's right. Now, obviously, in here you won't want to do that because you don't have anywhere to custom fit it.
Right.
The alignment's going to be critical here, just to get it to cover up all the edges. But you're not going to be able to run it right up to the that window doesn't roll down.
Right.
Basically, is what I'm saying. So that's so we don't cut those any longer, and they're not designed any longer as well.
Interesting. The last time I had windows tinted, they did all that cutting in the window.
And there's Lacey. She's putting some adhesive on some Tesla emblems that we cut black. We painted them black, and they'll go on a car that we are doing a chrome delete on. So let me get this thing turned around so you can see my face.
So with the tint that you offer, do you offer, for lack of a better phrase, I'm going to use a good, better, best on your tint, kind of a value tint, a mid-grade tint, and then the uber fantastic tint?
Yeah, our mid-grade tint, our Prime-XR, is going to be a film that is better than most companies' best film.
Okay.
That's why when clients come in, I recommend that they put that on the sides and the back. If they choose to do a horizontal glass like the sunroof, or perhaps time to time we might tint a windshield with some clear film.
I was going to ask about that.
That's where I would put the very best film, because that's where you're getting the heat. Heat simply will not transfer through that vertical glass like it does horizontal glass. The sun's above you, typically at its hottest point, not to the side of you.
Okay. And how does that? What's the difference between your mid-grade and the premium tint? What's the componentry inside the tint that makes it better?
Different nanoceramic particles that are in there, and what you're looking for. IR rejection is the key on window film when you're looking for heat rejection. And so you'll also notice it, like on our Prime-XR Plus film, you're going to see, and it's this way with all of your super high heat rejecting films, it might have just a touch of a blue look, especially the lighter stuff. Those are the particles that are in that glass to make it have better rejection and better absorption.
And it's not that there's blue particles in it; it's reflecting the blue light wave that we see.
Yeah, it's just got a little bit of a different color in it because the material that they use to make film reject the maximum amount of heat is going to have a little bit of a different hue to it. It's not anything that is that really stands out. It's very, very subtle, in fact.
John, you mentioned something about doing like a sunroof. I mean, we're down here in Houston, and there's a lot of sun down here come August in particular. Do you do a lot of those?
We do. Some manufacturers, depending on the manufacturer, they will put an IR layer onto their sunroofs. Some of them do it on their windshields, but most of them do not because it's very, very expensive to do it. So we do quite a few sunroofs and windshields. And I tell you, if you've ever had it done, now technically in the state of Texas, it's it may or may not be legal, or some people read the rules differently. You do it in such a way that it's nearly clear, and it also, with something on your windshield, it also takes away a lot of the glare at night as well that people experience.
Right.
And protects the dash from the sun damage as well.
That it does as well. We've had very, very much success with doing that.
Well, I was mainly thinking about the sunroof. My wife has one. She doesn't open it because of the heat. And we pick on Don a lot because of his affinity for sunroofs.
Do you have a sunroof on the Shelby?
It does not.
Yay!
They don't come
I
with that
hate
because
sunroofs.
of the power.
It'd be great if we lived in the in the upper Midwest around the Great Lakes.
But that's Becky's
we don't live there.
Yeah, she doesn't even open hers because of the heat.
Too
that
dang
comes
hot.
in.
Well, then you'd have snow tires.
I want I want T-tops on mine.
T-tops.
Yeah, I'm going to cut some T-tops.
Yeah, there
Those
you
were
go.
The best.
Yeah, do
Those
that.
are the best.
Bring
that
those
won't
back.
make the car flexible,
Yeah,
the
bring 'em
chassis
back.
flexible at all.
You don't with the kind of power that car's got. I don't think you want very much flex at all.
That car has extra special bracing and all sorts of special things for the chassis, I think, that keep it going down the street straight.
Has it got a roll
absolutely.
bar in it? A factory roll
It
bar?
does not. It does not. I may do some autocross with it like I did my last GT350, but I won't do any heavy-duty track stuff.
Did you trade in the 350 or did you sell it outright?
My friend down at the dealer where I bought it took the car in, and he's in the process of selling it for me.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
So
he cut
I
his
got the-
eyes
I
to
got
see
the
if his wife's
benefit.
over there listening or not.
I got the benefit of selling it and the benefit of the tax benefit, the tax credit
trade
as well.
credit, yeah.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
nice. Well, it's always good to have connections, and
That's
clearly
right.
you have the connections.
Man, it sure doesn't hurt. I can tell you that.
That's good. Well, all right. So, what else have we got over there at Gulf Coast Auto Shield?
Well, pretty much showed you everything in the shop. I tell you, our heavy hitter right now is paint protection film. The window tint has died down just a little bit, which it always does in
Seasonal.
the summertime, in the winter time.
Yeah.
And but we are really also very, very busy with ceramic coatings, paint correction and ceramic coatings, which we talked about. The value of paint correction before paint protection film. Well, it's absolutely essential before you put a ceramic coating on the car, because you're doing so. You're putting a ceramic coating on the car to, number one, protect it from acidic impact like fallout, water spots, bird poop, things of that nature. So you want to get rid of that stuff before you lay down a ceramic coating. You want it to be as good as it can possibly be, especially with some of our coatings, because they have some self-healing qualities to them. And I'm not talking about they're not there for impact damage or any of that kind of stuff. They're there for like car wash related swirling, marring, things of that nature. And so you want to start with a clean canvas, especially when you're laying down a coating like that.
That was my question. What does a customer need to do to prep their vehicle before bringing it to you, or do you do that?
Please don't do anything. I might charge more if you wash it.
That's what I'm asking. If you do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Don't. I don't want the customer doing anything, because we're going to wash it. We're going to have to wash it. Even if it comes in clean, we're going to wash it anyway. We're going to wash it. We're going to do a ferrous oxide removal. On this car, before we put the Clear Bra on it, we use a product that will expose the rail dust that's on these cars. And any of these cars that travel via rail are going to be covered up in it.
Yep.
And, it's possible that, especially on like this white Cayman I'm sitting next to, it's very possible later down the life, then in its life, you might, if you don't remove this stuff, you might have like an orange dot that shows up in the paint. Well, that orange dot's going to be the start of rust on the surface from the rail dust that got on it on the way down here. Now, your Porsches don't travel via rail, especially the ones in Houston, when they're in the United States, but they will travel from where they're built in Germany to the port. So even the Porsches that come in, the BMWs that come in, it's not just the domestic cars. They all are covered with rail dust.
And you see a lot of the manufacturers trying to mitigate that by doing basically a white plastic wrap on cars, trying to mitigate that rail dust. It doesn't really do that good a job, but it does better than what they used to. Rail dust is a real problem in the domestic market, huge problem. And they can identify where that car was parked on the train car to see whether or not they need to that it was a rail dust issue, because when it's parked above
that's
the
right.
wheel,
The lower on the car, the more rail dust you're typically going to have on the sides and the lower parts of the car. And this could all be mitigated if they would create a rail car that had solid sides rather than the
aerated,
the
open
the areas where you can get some ventilation in that car, or in the train car, I should say.
Yeah, but then they can't
that is
do
something that they could fix.
Yeah, but then they can't do so much of the illegal transporting stuff they do coming out of Silao, Mexico.
Let's throw that in there.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah. But it is a real issue, and especially if you've got a light colored car, yeah, that's something that you really want to look into when the car is fairly new. Is getting the ferrous oxides removed from it, and every couple of years you might want to look into it too, because if you're driving near railroad tracks, what have you, you'd be surprised how much ferrous oxides are in the air.
John, where was your Cobra built?
Where was it built? It was built in. It was built in just outside of Detroit at the niche line where they build all the SVT cars.
Yeah. The other thing I wanted to ask you was, if I've got a car, let's just say, we'll use the Corvette as an example, the 20-year-old Corvette. Sure. I don't really know what it needs, if it needs anything. You and I haven't met before, but I hear good things about you. And I'm thinking perhaps I need somebody on a professional level to look at the finish on the car. Do you do that? I mean, can I bring the car over there and get your opinion on it and tell me what I need?
Yeah, and I have people call and ask that question. Bring it over. Let's take a look at it and see what it needs. And the first question I ask them is where do you want this car to be? Where do you want to go with it? Because a lot of times, small improvements can be affordable and make a huge difference on the car. It's funny. I had a guy come bring in a 1983 Berlinetta a couple weeks.
A Chevy Berlinetta?
Nice.
Yeah, the newer, when the body style changed in '82, he got an '83. Literally, this man drove it here, took it to England with him, drove it there, brought it back. It got flooded in Harvey, and he just got it fixed.
Oh,
this is a 176,000 mile car. It had some issues, but we identified the areas that we could improve on the car, put a light coating on it. And, man, he was absolutely thrilled.
Did he have some sort of a personal connection to the car? Because the car is, worth maybe $2,000 at best?
176,000 miles with a $200,000 tab.
Look, the guy's also got a F430M Ferrari.
So he has an emotional connection to the Berlinetta.
He's got an emotional connection to the car that he's driven it here. He's driven it in England. He brought it back. It got flooded. He brought it back. So, it was kind of
He also probably at this point has a big connection with his therapist every week.
Now,
I don't know.
Don't get John in trouble. The guy might be watching.
I'm just teasing, but I mean really a Berlinetta. But, hey, stranger things have happened. Back in high school, I had a 65 Corvair. What did I do? In my old age, a lost sense is what I did, and bought a 66 that I spent a fortune on, and you saw the car. So
well, let's go back to my Conrad's Corner about us and our cars.
That's exactly right.
And that's the thing that John's even talking about with this gentleman with the Berlinetta is that person had great value in that vehicle, and John was coaching him on what could help the car without overselling him on what was necessary.
Right.
Yeah, there's a certain amount of added value, and there's a certain amount of ripping people off.
Right.
It all depends on the car and what the client wants to do with it. I'll tell you, one of the more interesting cars that we're going to get in here pretty soon is a good client, a friend of mine, just bought a Buick GNX, one of the McLaren cars.
Oh,
This car's got about 500 miles on it, and it is perfect.
500 miles on it? Wow.
Perfect. Hey, there's another one floating around with 98 miles on it.
Oh, that's truly collectible because that was the 1 year only end of production run on the had the ceramic impeller turbos in it. That was
quite a car.
It made Chevrolet quite mad because it was substantially faster than the Corvette of the day.
Man, I get excited when a customer brings a car like that in. The old Monte Carlo SS. That GNX, any kind of, old Camaro like that. When I was in high school or something, those things are, I don't know. I guess I got a connection to them too a little bit.
Yeah, it's kind of the unicorn. It's that unique car that you don't see very many of, and you getting an opportunity to work on one of them it's exciting because you may never in most cases, probably never will see another one that you get a chance to work on. John, thanks a lot. We really appreciate you coming on and sharing your knowledge. People can get a hold of you at GulfCoastAuto.com. I posted
Gulf GulfCoastAutoShield.com, and I'm 832-264-0670. Even if you want to stop by and visit,
we're coming over for some shots after the show.
Right. I'm talking about.
Come on.
All right.
Yeah, we posted you up on Facebook as well. Thanks.
Thanks a bunch. We'll talk
Thanks,
to you
John.
soon. Appreciate you. All right, time now for this hour's car review. And we have the 2021 Chevy Trailblazer. Mr. Mars has that.
Yes, sir. I had an opportunity to drive this vehicle. Been a while since I've been in the Trailblazers. In fact, this is the first of the new revamped Trailblazers that I've been into. And it comes in actually 5 different trim levels. The L, the LS, the LT, the Active, and RS trim. Now, the reason I say that is because we had the Active all-wheel drive option for the Trailblazer that we were in. Now, this is Chevrolet calls it a small SUV because it's kind of a little too big for a subcompact, but it's kind of a little bit on the small on the compact side. So it's nothing like it was when it originally first came out. So up front, you're going to find that it's got a dual-port grille on it. It's kind of a Camaro-esque, the way they've done the grille on it, because this is the Active, and it's got a much more sporty look to it. In fact, it's got what Chevrolet calls simulated skid plates up front for off-roading.
Simulated.
Simulated
that means
off-roading.
they're not real skid plates, and you'll rip them off if you hit a rock with them.
Yeah. So anyway, so it's got the LED headlights, fog lights, daytime running lights. It's got a dual pane power sunroof that we were talking about, which is actually a $1,770 option, which I like the idea that it's an option because that means you don't have to have it. Too many of them, it comes as the one that you got to have.
That's the full length type.
Yeah.
Well, but it's
Panoramic.
two panes.
It's two pieces of
different-
glass.
Yeah, it's 2 panes in it. And
Is that PAIN or PANE?
well, it depends on how hot it is and whether or not John's put you any
Just
additional
saying.
feed on it. I still got John in my ear. I got to get him out. So anyway, it came with a power-free hands lift gate, a hands-free power lift gate. Had the 17-inch aluminum black wheels on it, which was kind of nice. I like the way it looked on that. And when you get into the interior on it, we had the leatherette seat trim. And one of the great things is we had the optional passenger front seat will fold flat. So by the time you fold the seats down in the second row, which are 60-40 folded down, you can actually put something 8.5 feet long in there. So you can get you some 2x4s or a surfboard or whatever. The rear passenger seat, as I said, is a 60-40. It will fold down flat. It does have a rear center arm console on it. And it comes with we had the optional Bose audio system with 7 speakers in it. So comes with a 4.5-inch driver display for the driver's information, 7-inch touchscreen for the Chevrolet infotainment system is standard, but there is an optional 8 that you can step up to. Now you get up under the hood, we had the 1.3-liter turbo 3-cylinder engine, which is the option, over the 1.2-liter, which is the standard, but it's also a 3-cylinder. So we had the 155 horsepower, 174 pound-feet of torque. We had the optional 9-speed automatic. If you get the standard one, it's going to be a CVT. EPA says in the city you should be looking for 26 miles to the gallon. The highway, you're looking at about 30. And so the combined, it's at 28. And I did get the 28 out of it. It was pretty easy to do. It's not, as I said, it's not the first-gen Trailblazer SUV, full-blown SUV. This is a CUV. It's got a very CUV-type ride on it. It's got 3 drive modes, normal, sport, snow. The difference between sport and snow, I really couldn't tell a whole lot of difference between them. And it does have the electric steering, which to me is it's very electric. You
Very disconnected.
Very disconnected is a good way to put it.
Over-assisted, which is relatively typical at the GM level.
It is. And I've got another one out there that's very much like that. So if you're looking for something to compare it to, you might look at the Nissan Rogue Sport that we were looking at earlier. Starts at around $23,400, a new one. A Mazda CX-30 starts at $21,900. Or even the Subaru Crosstrek that we talked about a couple of weeks ago at $22,200.
Have you started those shots yet?
My mouth's dry because I'm thinking about them.
That's
So
it.
if you look at it, you can get a 2021 Trailblazer, a base model, for $19,000. I mean, we're talking about the stripper here down at the L trim level.
Entry
That's
level.
the stripped down version, not the stripper.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
He's talking with his
Strapped
hands.
down. But the 2021 Trailblazer all-wheel drive active base that we were driving starts at $26,900. Now the MSRP is tested with a few options on it, bumped it up to the MSRP is $32,350.
It's not too
for
bad.
a small
Yeah.
SUV.
Not bad.
Okay, thank you.
Cool.
I thought we would kind of keep it in the realm of General Motors just for a moment. Or do you want to? Let's do the racing calendar, shall we?
No, we've already done the racing calendar, but let's do.
Wait just a minute.
Yeah, we've already done the racing calendar. Let's do the calendar of events that's coming up. We've done
Okay,
events,
let's do that.
which is tomorrow, but let's do stuff that's
Let's
coming
do
up.
something.
So the biggest thing coming
Let's
up
dance.
is Tailpipes and Tacos.
Let's do some shots.
Is Tailpipes and Tacos next weekend at Lupi Tortillas on Kingsland and Grand Parkway.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I said that correctly, right?
Uh-huh.
And we'll be out there doing the show live, so come on out and say hello to us. We're always looking for people to interview as well, so if you've got a cool car, stop at the table and talk to us before 8 o'clock, and we may put you on the show.
Or
That
I'll-
would be
I'll-
the set.
I'll track them down. I will track them down and get them up there.
Okay, like you don't have other things to do.
No,
but
see,
yeah, we know how
but there
that
were some
works.
folks that we had out there last time that were interested in coming on. There's a gentleman and his wife with, I believe it, a white Trans Am that were nearby. That
Right. We missed.
Right, we missed them last time. Yeah.
So also next weekend is Exotics on Market Street, which is going to be over basically, I'm going to say the I-10 Beltway 8 area. And Sunday the 31st is going to be a Houston Performance Driving meet at Twin Peaks in the Woodlands with friend of the show, Troy Dixon. On the 30th, Woodlands Barbecue in Tomball is going to have the Fire Up Car Show. They're going to have 25 awards given out that day, put on by Showplace Classics. The Greater Houston F-Body Club is going to be meeting on February 13th at Otto's Barbecue in Sugarland, or is that the Fountains?
Fountains.
The Fountains. Lone Star Throwdown.
Woo-hoo.
If you're into trucks and you're into 2,000 trucks, customized trucks, you want to come out to the Montgomery County Fairgrounds the 26th through the 28th of February up in Conroe. It's going to be a great show, is always a great show. And then the 12th Annual Collector Car Appreciation Day, everybody want to kind of plan ahead for that. That's going to be July 9th. Lots of stuff has been kind of postponed, but those are the things that we know are still on schedule.
Back to GM. General Motors plans to start building 2 battery electric crossovers for Honda Motor Company within the next 4 years, a Honda-branded vehicle at a GM plant in Mexico, and an Acura-branded vehicle alongside the upcoming Cadillac Lyriq in Tennessee, according to people familiar with the plans. Like the Lyriq, the Honda and Acura vehicles will be powered by GM's proprietary Ultium batteries, which have a range of 450 miles, is what they're claiming right now. Morgan Stanley predicts the Ultium batteries will be used in more than 5 million EVs annually by 2040, including more than 1 million non-GM vehicles. Thought that was interesting. GM plans to launch a rebranded website Monday, January the 11th, to share the latest information on electrification. So
I heard that the current generation Camaro is going to live on till 2026.
Oh.
And then no plans beyond that at this point, but who knows how that's going to
They've
play
extended
out.
it then.
Yeah.
Okay.
all right, the In Wheel Time Car Show streams on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. Podcasts available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Radio, iHeart Podcast, TuneIn, Google Podcast, Pandora, Amazon, and Podcast Addict, among others. The In Wheel Time Car Show continues after this quick break.
Tailpipes and Tacos is Houston's premier cruise-in, and you're invited to join in. Whether you're a cruiser or spectator, Tailpipes and Tacos is the place to enjoy made-to-order breakfast tacos, fresh coffee, and mingle with Houston's fun car people. Mark your calendar for Saturday, January 16th for Tailpipes and Tacos at the Lupi Tortilla Mexican Restaurant in Katy, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Tailpipes and Tacos is free and everyone is invited. You'll see collector cars, hot rods, customs, magnificent originals, and resto mods all at one location. Cars from all over Southeast Texas cruise in and show off in a friends and family event. The Lupi Tortilla Mexican Restaurant on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10 and Katy. Drag racer, car enthusiast, and Lupi founder Stan Holt brings you Houston's hottest cruise-in, Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday, January 16th, 8 to 11 a.m. at Loopy's in Katy. The In Wheel Time Car Show will be there too. Get your ride ready and we'll see you at the Tailpipes and Tacos Saturday morning cruise-in, January 16th, 8 to 11 a.m. at Loopy's in Katy, weather permitting. Texas Truck Works is your go-to truck customizer. From mild to wild lift kits, custom wheels, and steering and handling enhancements to the best personal and commercial wraps, Texas Truck Works delivers. Let Texas Truck Works founder Scott Stevens help you get the most out of your truck or Jeep. Texas Truck Works has decades of customizing experience, including power adders and complete engine swaps. Let the Texas Truck Works team design an upgrade plan that fits your budget. Get truck attitude today at TexasTruckWorks.com. Is your business or company looking to stand out in a crowded advertising market? Looking to reach the real auto enthusiast? Well, you found it. You're listening or watching In Wheel Time, and so are your fellow enthusiasts. The In Wheel Time Car Show now reaches 500,000, and we can put together a marketing plan that will engage them in your product, business, or service. To get the tires rolling, just shoot us an email to our marketing director, Jeff Zekin. His address is jeff@inwheeltime.com. Welcome to the In Wheel Time Car Show, your weekly award-winning go-to all things automotive place. Along with Mike Out of This World Mars down there, absorbed into his computer, and King Conrad DeLong, absorbed into life. I'm Don Armstrong. I'm trying to be absorbed into anything I can be absorbed to. And then we have Mr.
Absorbing whiskey.
Whiskey, shots. And then we have
Jeff and
Zekin
Alex.
And Alex, our in-studio guest today.
My intern.
His intern, that's right. And so, and also Kathy Caputo, thank you for coming and bringing Alex with you. We appreciate it. We always love in-studio guests, and we always appreciate food. And she didn't disappoint with some very special, yummy stuff.
Everything bagels.
Yes. Well, there's bagels and there's also pastries. So we're going to sample that.
I'm the bagel guy. Anything with garlic on it, I'm good to go.
Oh, boy.
And
we can tell.
And I got butter, so it's all good. We're trying to get a hold of Jim Morrison because we have some information that we thought that
cool information
that we thought that you would enjoy hearing about an all-new Jeep that is headed your way. And but in the meantime, and while we work on getting a hold of him, Mr. Brockman, Mr. Reynolds and Reynolds, okay? Mm-hmm. Federal judge in California has agreed to allow former Reynolds and Reynolds Company CEO Bob Brockman to face charges of tax evasion and wire fraud closer to his home here in Houston. In an order issued last Monday, U.S. District Judge William Alsup granted a motion Brockman's attorneys filed in November to transfer the government's case against him to the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of Texas. Alsup wrote that transferring the case is warranted based on a test of several factors, including the defendant's location of witnesses, and other considerations. But other factors, namely Brockman's declining health and U.S. Department of Justice policy that aims to prosecute criminal tax cases where a taxpayer lives or works, for the most significant deterrent effect, make Houston the most appropriate place to pursue the case.
Is this like an Enron thing?
He's going to walk. You watch. He's going to walk.
If he lives that long.
Yeah. Well, that's...
Yeah. So he faces 39 counts, including tax evasion, wire fraud, money laundering, and evidence tampering. He's pleaded not guilty. In November, Brockman stepped down from his roles as chairman and CEO of the privately held dealership management system giant. He was succeeded by Tommy Barras, who's been promoted to president and COO in June. We ready, Mr. Mars? Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, let us not waste haste, and let's just move right on to it. The head of the Jeep brand for FCA, still FCA, is Mr. Jim Morrison. Hi, Jim. How are you? Well, Jim, we really don't care about you. We're more interested in the cat. Is the cat there with you?
Elliot, yeah. Where's Elliot?
Where's Elliot?
Yeah. That's funny. Elliot, we talked about that this morning.
Yeah.
Elliot is the star of the last show. In fact, I'm a day away from actually trying to do the same thing, which was, do the interview from inside the new, the Grand Cherokee L. like we did the 392 Wrangler.
Right.
And then, of course, I would make sure that Elliot could jump in and go through a little bit of a different setting here today in Michigan because it's in the 20s.
No.
So not so much fun to have the top off the Wrangler like last time we spoke, but it's warming up. But we got lots of snow here in Michigan.
Well, tell us about your newest toy.
Oh, the Grand Cherokee L. It's been a great last few days. If they haven't seen it, a little bit of shameless marketing plug here, but go on to Jeep.com and watch the reveal of the new Grand Cherokee, and they'll be able to see everything that I can't articulate well here on radio. But just today, amazing new Jeep we launched to the world. Here on Thursday.
Well, just so you'll know,
we've got a few pictures we're going to post up that we've collected.
We stole some that we're going to show while you're talking.
Perfect.
Yeah, so it's up there now. So please go ahead and tell us all about it. This is a much-awaited vehicle that, and to be honest with you, I did not know about the L. We were all just waiting for the Jeep Grand Cherokee, the all-new. It's the first redesign of the most popular, highest, biggest-selling vehicle in your lineup.
Yes, and we kept it a pretty good secret.
You did.
Talking about it with the press as this mysterious 3-row SUV that we were going to launch out of our new Mack assembly plant here in Detroit, Michigan, and so we were able to kind of keep that under wraps. And usually we can't keep that kind of stuff. Usually it leaks through, but it was a nice surprise to the world, and I think a logical one for a lot of folks. When they take a look at Grand Cherokee, most awarded SUV in history. It had a lot of a really strong following. We've done about 7 million Grand Cherokees over the years. Wow. Of course, SUV of Texas. I think 5 years in a row.
Right.
Great vehicle, and I've talked a lot about us listening to our customers, and one of the things our customers kept telling us is, hey, there's a need for a true Jeep or a Grand Cherokee in a 3-row. And as you know, over the years, almost 30 years since we started this segment with the Grand Cherokee, we only had it as a 2-row vehicle. So it came as a logical extension to our customers as a response to them and to our dealers who are asking for a 3-row Grand Cherokee. So, it's a nice logical extension to the range, but it needed to be a true Jeep first, right? So it's got 3 4-wheel drive systems, air suspension, select terrain. It's a true Jeep. We take 4-wheel drive capability to the next level with the Grand Cherokee L, and then wrap it with an incredible amount of luxury and technology in order to deliver what we think will now be the new benchmark for the segment again, really raising the bar, for the competition and giving our customers what they're looking for in the marketplace with this new Grand Cherokee.
Well, I know that you already know this, but I just want to say it, and that is that the people that are behind the Ford Explorer and the Toyota Highlander and the Chevy Traverse and the Volkswagen Atlas, they're going,
they're scared to death. Yeah.
Hyundai Palisade, Kia. Nobody was expecting a 3-row, and here you are, and now it's a whole different ball game.
Yeah, a couple of things to that point is, we're very proud to say that Grand Cherokee, even though it was only in 2-row form, had the highest loyalty in the segment. A lot of people really, once they get into Grand Cherokee, it's a perfect size for them, and it's still market leader. After being in the marketplace, every competitor that you mentioned, and me, I never say a competitor's name, but thankfully, easily to report that Grand Cherokee is still on the top of the game. So now we add in a 3-row for those customers that truly need a 3-row vehicle, and we expect to continue to grow both volume for our dealers, but most importantly, bring in new customers into the Jeep brand and being able to keep them loyal and have them a member of the Jeep family.
Jim, are you still going to make the 2-row?
We will. That'll be shown here in the not too distant future, and we're going to bring an electric 4xe into the mix with Grand Cherokee as well. Wow. So kind of in the second half of the year, we'll have the two row, and as well have an electrified Grand Cherokee.
Well, we know that you have known about this since its inception or beforehand, but for us, this is really exciting stuff. I mean, first of all, the fact that you've kept it a secret all this time, and now all of a sudden you come out with this 3-row Grand Cherokee. I mean, we're all excited, man.
Yeah, and it's nice. I can't wait to get you guys in it because it's really, we've done some really good interiors with our company, but this is the best interior I think we've ever done. And I think you can put it toe to toe with anything in the marketplace. And I'm talking, over $100,000 Bentleys, the real wood, the real leather, the technology that we have in this Jeep. I'm proud to say you can go toe to toe with anybody in the marketplace. We've introduced a Summit Reserve package that's got leather on the doors, leather on the center console. It's got a 10-inch cluster, 10-inch radio. This thing is incredible with the amount of technology it's got, and of course it's a true Jeep, so it's got 3 new 4-wheel drive systems that will be able to make this Grand Cherokee climb up a wall if you want to.
Well,
it's the only one that's trail rated.
Well, we know what you've done with the Ram brand and all of the luxurious interiors. It's changed the industry, to be frank with you, and you already know that. You won't say it, but I'll say it for you. And I would imagine that attention to detail with the interiors probably kind of molds right on over to the Jeep brand.
Yeah, we find it important when you're going to put a big radio in a vehicle that you don't just kind of tack it on and slap it on like an iPad, like some of our competitors have, and make it look like it's an afterthought like it was. But, we design the whole interior around those key components, and we know that our customers, really like that technology. And whether it be, you just put your iPhone down on the center console, and you don't have to plug it in because it wirelessly connects to CarPlay or Android Auto, and then pulls up a gigantic Waze, 10-inch Waze on the middle of your screen. Really easy technology to live with. We've tried to make sure that we're the benchmark there, and then we've pushed the limits as well with some cool tech. We've got this new heads-up display, and as well we've brought in something that I think will be really good for the Texas customers is night vision. So you're rolling down the road at speed, and a deer pops out of the road, or a hog for you guys, or or a dog, whatever it is, and the Jeep will tell you, hey, look out, you can't see it yet, but there's an animal coming out of the ditch. Cool. So it'll really give you some cool alerts there, and of course it works for people too. I should say that it's not just animals, but it keeps you from rolling at speed and smoking an animal. It's actually a very, very good technology.
Jim, I also understand that you are debuting the new Uconnect 5 infotainment system in it.
Yeah, that's it's amazing, and we've won a lot of awards, and certainly the. I think that was Technology of the Year in Texas a few years in a row as well. And, we're well known for our Uconnect system, very easy to do business with, but we've taken it to the next level here with Uconnect 5, very fast, very easy to find, kind of always just one touch away for the key technology that you're looking for. Nice 10-inch screen, really crisp and clear. It's amazing how clear it is. And then it talks through to the new technology that we've added. So it's a really nice system. The guys have done a great job with it.
Yeah, and we posted up some pictures of the interior of your saddle colored, and I'm assuming it was your top tier.
It was probably the Summit.
Very pretty.
The Summit.
Very pretty.
And the double French stitch diamond pattern is breathtaking.
Yeah.
You guys really did a nice job of dressing up the interior, and everybody's going to chase you, like Don was saying earlier, how you guys elevated Ram, and everybody's chasing you in what I see in the interior of this new the Grand Cherokee.
When you
L.
issue them, we're going to need 4 of them.
Yeah,
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, exactly. I think one of the things, and you'll see it as you get to actually see, feel, and touch it, but our competitors are using plastic with some of this stuff. And vinyls, and we're very true to form with, real wood, real leather, if you even zoom in on the right hand side, it says since 1941. That's a real chunk of metal. And our customers, want us to be authentic, and they want to have really nice materials, and we've done that, here with the Grand Cherokee. So it not only looks good, which you can see and feel on. You can see online, but you can actually, when you get to feel it, you'll feel like $1 million in the new Grand Cherokee.
So when's it supposed to hit the showroom?
Q2, so not far away.
Oh wow!
Wow.
You really did keep it secret.
Yeah, we did. Originally, kind of the story behind the story is originally we were going to show it at the LA Auto Show, but then of course auto shows kind of got shut down, and we were able to do things, kind of right in our backyard. So that little, display stand and stuff that we set up was in Connor Avenue, right downtown Detroit. So, right in the home of the brand and only 20 minutes from the plant. So it was kind of a little bit of a different way to roll a vehicle out, but very easy. And we kept it really close to our vest, here until the very last minute.
Well, I know
the engineers are waiting they rip the camo off, and they're running around the flesh now. So it's a lot of fun.
Well, I know that we're here to talk about the Grand Cherokee, but let's not lose track of the fact that you guys, from what I understand, are going to be debuting the Wagoneer here, not in the not too distant future.
Yes, I know the Wagoneer comes on board, and you'll be seeing more of that here soon too. So. It's been a lot of fun. We've rolled out the 4xe or the electric Wrangler. We rolled out the 392 Wrangler. So we've got both the most environmentally friendly and most capable Wrangler with the 4xe, and then we went the hell with the joke and threw a 392 cubic inch V8 in the Wrangler too. So that was what we talked about last time. And then now we've got Grand Wagoneer and Grand Cherokee. There's a lot of new stuff in the Jeep showroom.
So Jim,
coming our way.
Let me ask you a personal question. I mean, do you sleep at all anymore?
There used to be some time between 3 and 5 in the morning, and right now it's if you look at the bags under my eyes.
Yes, we see them.
You can see that I haven't been getting much of that, but. Certainly not. Although it's it's a really exciting time when you have there's not a whole lot of people in the marketplace bringing new vehicles to market right now, and to have so much coming to marketplace, it's a lot of fun.
Next time you have something in the pipeline, let us know. We can keep a secret.
Yeah, right. Don't tell us. No, we're not good at that. Now, before we let you go, Jim, I want to ask you. Fiat Chrysler and the PSA merger. We're getting close here. All of the approvals have been made. When are you projecting all of this to be done with?
It's coming up real close. It'd be a different conversation if we were having it even a week or so from now. So we're getting really close. All the approvals are there, and the balls are in motion, and that's another exciting time. Cool Beagle, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Yes, that's the Suze.
My first dog was a Beagle, so I love those.
Yeah,
dogs.
but you've got an Elliott.
Yeah, you've got the Elliott
now. Yeah, Elliott. Yeah, and my dog's name is Turbo. So where's Turbo? Hey, Turbo. He probably should be a star of the show here today. Is Turbo inside? Anyway, send in Turbo. We're talking about dogs versus cats today, but anyway, yeah, it's a really exciting time with the PSA merger coming on here with the new Stellantis company.
And, I guess the one reason that I bring it up is because not only are you delivering all of these brand new vehicles in the Jeep brand, but let's face fact, I mean, this is a huge thing. This is going to make your company the 4th largest automaker in the world. I mean, this is huge. And from what I understand, you're going to have some really incredible brands that are going to be joining the entire company. Yeah, the portfolio. I mean, I can't think. I'm glad that you're a young man because, old men can't stand all of this stuff, man. We'd be on the couch with the therapist after a couple of days.
Yeah, well, on the personal note, my very first vehicle was a Peugeot 504. Interestingly enough, that I wrecked off-roading, that's kind of the story behind the story. But my French isn't too bad either, so that's that will help.
Well, it's an exciting time at Jeep. it's a very exciting time at Jeep. A great chance for everybody to go into the Jeep dealers as they are launching all of these new vehicles and buy 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah, buy 2 or 3.
You know, that's the other benefit of, holding out to the very end. We had a really good dealer meeting, just ahead of the launch, showed them the preview of the car, kind of rolled it out with them. And the customers have actually already gone into dealers and ordered them. So it's really nice. You don't have to wait. We don't have to make excuses, like some other manufacturers are doing out there. We're just easy to do business with. You love it. Hey, go to your local Jeep dealer. They can order you one, and we'll put you on the front of the line and make you smile and be the first in your neighborhood with the new Grand Cherokee.
Well, Jim, it's great news, and it's very exciting. Congratulations on the big secret. And it's out of the bag now, so I guess we probably got a few viewers headed out there right now to order their new Grand Cherokee L that's going to be at the dealership in Q2. So thanks again. We appreciate it. It's always great to talk to you. Hey, please let us know when you got something coming down the line that you want to talk to, maybe the day before or something like that.
Yeah,
You need secrets.
Here's the next 5 here.
Oh!
A lot going on.
Well, give Elliot and the family our best, and it's good to talk to you, Jim, as always.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Jim.
Take care, guys.
You do the same. Jim Morrison, the head of the Jeep brand up there in the Detroit area.
What a hoot.
Yeah, I'm really glad to hear they're still going to hang with the 2-row because my wife's car, we went out of our way to find a 2-row SUV because everybody's putting the 3rd row in that midsize, and we just didn't want it.
Well, notice that it's an L. So apparently they've stretched
longer wheelbase.
Yeah, so that's good to know.
Yeah.
Well, that was the Jeep Grand Cherokee was the 15th most popular vehicle in sales in 2020 as well. So, Jeep's most popular vehicle. Wrangler right behind it with by about 6,000 vehicles. So they got 2 of the top 20 cars in the industry.
So the L could be 2 things, luxury and length.
Yep.
Could be. Or it could be luxurious length.
There you go.
All right, so let me ask you this.
Or it could be Larry.
Because I don't know, because I haven't talked to you. But do we have Ryan's excellent car adventure today? Do we have that?
We can pull that up.
Are we ready to do that?
I can pull it up.
Okay, so he's the newest member of our staff. His name is Ryan Ainsley, and you've heard the last name with our David Ainsley. This is his son.
So we're trying to lower the age of our staff.
So here we go.
Child labor.
Okay, I don't have the audio to this. Do you guys have audio to this?
Yeah, it should. The audio's on.
Go ahead. It's not running there, Jeffrey.
Today we're at the Catalina Coffee Car Meet. Gonna check out some sweet rides. I don't even know what this is. What is this?
Cool.
Where does he go for these?
I'm not real sure.
Well,
At the very beginning, he mentions it's a something in coffee. This was a regular
Cars
thing.
and Coffee event.
Well, it's that type. I mean, that wasn't the name of it.
But it's somewhere Octane in Coffee or something like that.
Shots
Everybody's
in
got
Coffee.
the- yeah.
Shots and Coffee. Not at that level. It's not. So, am I talking over the? Because I can't
no,
hear.
we're good. That was us coming back on the air. But you can see it's primarily an import collection of vehicles, which is where the youth tend to be, is more on the import level of vehicles than on the domestic side of things. So all the Audis, Mazdas, another Honda S2000, which I think's very, very cool little car, and there aren't a whole lot of them out there.
That is a great car.
Yeah, that's a great car.
When
Did you ever drive one?
I did, and I'm usually not impressed with those kind of cars, but I'll tell you what, that thing had more power, and the handling was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Last time I drove it up at Texas Motor Speedway up in Fort Worth. And I drove it on the road course in the middle out there, not the banked oval, but the road course, and I was stunned by the handling of that car.
And, you know, here's the newest Supra right there. That's the 2020 Supra. And, you know, Toyota's actually going to switch that up. That is a BMW-based vehicle, that Supra, with a BMW inline six-cylinder. They're about to release a BMW turbocharged collection of Ford Fiestas and Mazdas and Hondas.
But you know, one thing in common with most of these cars is
Giant
that
blower on that
most of
C6.
them are four-cylinders.
Texas
And
2P,
I don't did they
was
offer
awesome.
the Fiesta in a
Oh, look at this
turbocharged
G.
version?
Yeah, the ST.
Look at that.
I don't know, but what are you guys doing?
Yeah, I think the ST they offered a turbocharged with the little
Holy
EcoBoost
crap.
turbocharged version of it.
Dude,
You
this
know,
thing's
and then
cool.
you know, here's you know the collection of you know, it's another G.
That's not a
I
fan.
don't know,
It looks cool.
G37, G35, but. Fan of anything Audi. Audi's, you know, builds a nice car, and they're always good looking.
Look at there's a old Dodge truck.
And a black Corvette, Don. Oh, that's a black Corvette with the engine sticking out of the hood. There's something special
You know,
going
I tried
on there.
to do that one time back in the day with the 77. What a pain that was.
Trying to get a blower out of there.
No, it wasn't that. I had a tunnel ram with 2 4-barrels on it. It's like, you know, I
might have looked cool, but unless you know what you're doing, making it run is kind of hard.
don't want to cut a hole in the hood. And thank God I didn't. Well, that would have been terrible. But at any rate, so this is very similar to the one that we had last week. Same. As a matter of fact, I've seen some of the same cars here.
Probably. You
And
know,
we're going to get the audio worked out on this, hopefully, by next weekend, that we'll be able to
Well, you hope you don't
get
pull
all-
up to a speed bump with that car.
Yeah, but hopefully we'll be able to get
it all worked out.
Get it all worked out so we can hear it here in the studio as well. All right. Well, so that's enough of that. Thank you very much, David Ainsley.
We know you put a lot of work into it.
Ryan Ainsley's excellent car adventures. So thank you very much. Okay. So we're going to take a quick break now, and we're going to wrap things up right after a couple of words from our sponsors. Stay with us.
Texas Truck Works is your go-to truck customizer. From mild to wild lift kits, custom wheels, and steering and handling enhancements to the best personal and commercial wraps, Texas Truck Works delivers. Let Texas Truck Works founder Scott Stevens help you get the most out of your truck or Jeep. Texas Truck Works has decades of customizing experience, including power adders and complete engine swaps. Let the Texas Truck Works team design an upgrade plan that fits your budget. Get truck attitude today at TexasTruckWorks.com. Tailpipes and Tacos is Houston's premier cruise-in, and you're invited to join in. Whether you're a cruiser or spectator, Tailpipes and Tacos is the place to enjoy made-to-order breakfast tacos, fresh coffee, and mingle with Houston's fun car people. Mark your calendar for Saturday, January 16th for Tailpipes and Tacos at the Lupe Tortilla Mexican Restaurant in Katy, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Tailpipes and Tacos is free, and everyone is invited. You'll see collector cars, hot rods, customs, magnificent originals, and resto mods all at one location. Cars from all over Southeast Texas cruise in and show off in a friends and family event. The Lupe Tortilla Mexican Restaurant on the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard, just south of I-10 and Katy. Drag racer, car enthusiast, and Lupe founder Stan Holt brings you Houston's hottest cruise in, Tailpipes and Tacos, Saturday, January 16th, 8 to 11 a.m. at Lupe's in Katy. The In Real Time Car Show will be there too. Get your ride ready, and we'll see you at the Tailpipes and Tacos Saturday morning cruise in, January 16th, 8 to 11 a.m. at Lupe's in Katy, weather permitting. Is your business or company looking to stand out in a crowded advertising market? Looking to reach the real auto enthusiast? Well, you found it. You're listening or watching in real time, and so are your fellow enthusiasts. The In Wheel Time Car Show now reaches 500,000, and we can put together a marketing plan that will engage them in your product, business, or service. To get the tires rolling, just shoot us an email to our marketing director, Jeff Zekin. His address is jeff@inwheeltime.com. Well, guess what that sound signals?
The end. Shots.
Shots. That's it for this episode of the In Wheel Time Car Show. When you're on Facebook, please give us a like, tell your friends about us, and share your junk. You'll also get Conrad's Unicorn Hunting features, along with all things automotive all week long. The In Wheel Time Car Show streams on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and on InWheelTime.com. Podcasts are available on Pandora, Amazon, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, iHeart Podcast, Google Podcast, and Podcast Addict. Special thanks to all of our guests today. The In Wheel Time Chief Engineer is the fabulous David Ainsley. Our Video Technical Director, Sales and Marketing Man, Jeffrey Zekin. This week's In Wheel Time Car Show is produced and directed by the D.C. Police Department. For booking agent and podcast man, Mike Out of This World Mars, and his royalty, King Conrad DeLong. Do the wave.
Do the wave.
I'm Don Armstrong saying so long for now. We hope you'll join us on the next live show next Saturday, 8 to 11 a.m. Central Time at Tailpipes and Tacos at the Lupi Tortilla in Katy, Grand Parkway at I-10, right here on the Smoke and Mirrors Network. Thanks for being part of the In Wheel Time family. Mask up, stay healthy, and saying so long for now. This is Don Armstrong speaking.